Points coming through here to start things off on a Friday morning, including retail sales numbers. We'll blow this up a little bit. There we go. 0.4% to the upside for October retail sales. Export prices coming through as well. 0.8% to the upside for October. Import 0.3%. New York Empire State Manufacturing Index 31.2. Higher than expected on that number as well. Retail sales year over year just coming through there, 2.8% to the upside. So better than expected versus 1.9 that analysts had been forecasting. So the retail side of things still looking pretty strong, which goes hand in hand to what Fed Chair Powell was alluding to yesterday. We'll touch on that. Coming up here this morning, industrial production numbers coming out at 9:15. We'll also get business inventories and retail inventories coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. And that'll pretty much do it as far as the economic calendar is concerned for this week. But there it is. Yeah, the market downside here this morning coming on the back of a pretty hawkish Fed Chair Powell yesterday afternoon saying that no one should not only count on a rate cut coming up in December, but possibly even going forward from that point, as the hints of higher inflation still lingering in the background, and they want to make sure that things don't get out of control once again. So market not liking that. Stocks, have done nothing but go up for 3.5 weeks now. So maybe a little pullback due here.
Yeah, I mean, the economy is a lot stronger down south than it is in the north. So I don't think that they need the same rate cutting regimen that we've got. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, yesterday wasn't conclusive. It was just a off the cuff statement there that he was asked a question. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens there. Lots to talk about today, though. Brendo, 13F coming out from Berkshire Hathaway. A lot of adjustments to their positions there. Alibaba reporting again overnight. Interesting data coming out of China with respect to retail sales, and Bitcoin popping back again, and AMAT talking about the weakness in the chip industry. Yeah. Non-AI related chips continue to be weak, Brendo.
Yeah, downside. That's 13F from Berkshire. Pretty interesting, trimming more of their Apple position. I think we have to preface this, though. I mean, that's as of the end of last quarter, so you got to go all the way back to the summer. So it's been a while. So is he still selling? We don't know. It's just the latest look that we get. Also, EVs, well, Rivian. Anyways, under pressure here, 1.2%. Tesla's higher so far this morning. Trump hinting at the fact of maybe they get rid of this EV tax credit altogether, the $7,500 EV tax credit. Tesla's higher, Rivian lower. I guess you got to allude to the fact that companies like Rivian rely on these types of things a little bit more.
Yeah, and even the legacy. The ones that are not producing as much. You got the GM, the Ford. They're really relying on these tax credits to kind of get the ball rolling. Tesla has already got their operations international, and they're already selling far more than the legacy automakers are making. So I think that they can probably weather the storm a little bit better. We'll have to watch and see, but they're already up on the day.
So here is, I just want to point this out real quick. So Treasury yields across the board higher this morning on the back of those comments from Powell yesterday. The dollar also, I was reading this morning, best month in more than a year for the dollar, the US DXY, best month in more than a year so far for the dollar. There's gold this morning as well, trying to creep back to the upside here. That's the actual futures trading this morning on a 15-minute chart. So we're back to 25.50 for gold as well. Peter Schiff coming up at 12 o'clock this afternoon. Make sure you stick around for that. He's got lots of opinions, as we all know. Good to have Peter Schiff back on the show, including we'll touch on gold with him as well.
All right, what's going on, guys? Good morning. We talked about gold a little bit. Good morning, everybody. We talked about gold a little bit the other day. It's kind of falling in to nice levels there, as Brendan just mentioned. I mean, you're always looking to pick something up. If you're talking about, some people in the chat saying recessionary and, inflation's coming back and all this kind of stuff. Well, then, maybe there is going to be a trade involved here. This is GLD. So this is the gold, the way to get involved in a little bit of spot price here. If you're looking to do anything, GLD. Nice little move down from 255, 260 top, 257 and change, all-time highs. Falling right back into 236. The trend on gold has been quite nice. We're going to have, obviously, we'll talk more about this as we go, but Peter's going to be here again at 12 o'clock. So look at the trend here. Wow. Would you look at that? I mean, this is just a huge move up on that. As soon as we pop through here, we actually had talked about this at the beginning of the year, sort of breaking like multi-year highs here. This goes back to 2020, and there's the break, and it hasn't really faded back out yet. So yeah, that 215, 220 is also the period there on the daily chart of the 200 period where you'd be looking to pick something up. So yeah, I think if we drop too much more there, GLD going to be in play. You know, yesterday on the recap show, we got the news that Palantir was going to be switching over to the NASDAQ, and I couldn't really wrap my head around why that was such a good thing, because it just kept on pumping. I mean, we got to $62, which is all-time highs there yesterday in the aftermarket. And I was like, I'm a little bit worried about this name because it's well overextended. PE is 300. And then I came in today and Sharif was like, yeah, but now it's going to get added to the NASDAQ 100. And I was like, oh, right. So that would make sense why we're up a little bit here on Palantir. So we'll look to see about that one. I'm going to try to sell a little bit of this position here today if we get into 61 bucks or so. We'll get out of, I have it in a couple accounts. I think I just want to get out of it into a long-term account, raise some more capital there. Because if it does dip back in, I want to start to buy this name again. And there are a few names. You know what name that I was actually thinking about, and I, maybe I'll build a case for this and then put something out, but I was thinking about Boeing, just how dramatic this thing has fallen here. And I mean, as far as a monopoly, there's not going to be too many businesses and industries that you're going to be able to look at here that have the advantages that Boeing has. The problem, of course, is that deal that they just struck, not great, the debt. And then if we talked about, if we've just been in a boom era for all of the traveling, what does it mean moving forward here? Might not be time to do this yet. But again, if we're going to go on Boeing here on a weekly chart, you're getting into some of these levels. And I remember before, and I'll have to look this up, this is what I need to do, is when we were crashing in there during, just a little bit pre-COVID there, during COVID, I remember President Trump at the time was coming in and saying positive talks about trying to support Boeing down into these levels and calling it like a national security issue and things like that if anything were to ever happen to Boeing. So you're getting into these levels here where I put a bid at 120. Take some shares on Boeing. I think it might be worth a little bit of a shot there. You know, we'd been here before, huge moves upside. We know that the tides can turn on this name. But this is one that I was thinking about, you know. And the other one actually, and what about this? What about Pfizer? Are we excited about that at all?
I'm already in there.
You're in Pfizer? Oh, you're short right now today. Yeah. Yep. But I just mean for a longer term investment, like, I don't know. It's getting crushed. Like, this is 2018. Like, we are well below everything. Let's call up a monthly chart
look at the monthly
on Pfizer. So this right here, this level is 2012. 2012.
Look at the run up it had in from 95 to 01.
Right here. Oh, right? Wow. Yeah.
This looks
These are all
somewhat similar,
too, right? 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1.
Yeah.
And it still kept going.
It still kept going.
Yeah, but that's
and a nice little fade. It ran up into
Viagra come out?
Is that what
I'm just wondering. I mean, this is why biotech. This is why biotech is something to be in, you know. But the thing is now, if we're not talking too nicely about vaccines, look, Pfizer, and you got to figure out what's in the pipeline, so people will know more about
1998
this. 1998 was what?
FDA approved Viagra.
Okay.
In 1998.
FDA approved it, so that would right here.
Yeah,
so that's right there.
Yeah, so it already had the run up like
18
4
to 45 doesn't seem enough. You know what I mean for that?
It definitely,
but anyways, yeah, I mean, it started. It obviously had something in the pipeline right here. FDA approval hits, and then boom. FDA approval. I mean, FDA a little slow on those kind of things. You know what I mean? So like, the Wall Street gets word of things. I mean, we can look at lots of things like.
Are you saying you'd be looking for more extended candles off that Viagra move?
I'm not. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. It's
probably too early.
Too early in the morning for that one, you know what I'm saying? But I haven't had any experience in that area. So, all right. What else do we want to talk about here? Anything you're looking at?
No, I'm just. I guess I'm watching that Pfizer as well. Nothing too crazy that I have on watch. We got some day one earnings. We got AMAT. We got Baba. We got this company that I have no idea. DESP as well. a few different names, but yeah, nothing too crazy on my radar today. We're going to be watching that Tesla to see what that does. We know that there's been a lot of 13 Fs, I guess, in the market. There's a lot of things moving around due to repositioning or news of repositioning that happened in the last quarter. But yeah, no, I'm not really seeing anything too crazy right off the bat. But sometimes those days can surprise you because there will be trades that just fall into your lap because you're being patient for them to show up, and sometimes those can be some of the best trades. So I'm curious. I'm waiting. I'll be patient. Got to have that sniper mentality, you know. Got to wait for the hunt to show up.
I mean, we're ready to go.
When you see it, you take
every
the
time
shot.
every time we're sitting here, we're ready to go. You know, like if something hits the market now, bang,
boom. We've been getting those intraday catalysts as well. Yesterday.
Good. Yesterday we had the Microsoft move.
We had the softy. We had the biotech. Oh, BNTX as well. BNTX was one of the tickers as well.
Yeah.
That,
Moderna was hot fire at the close.
Yeah. We can take a quick
I'm
look
looking
at what they
SMCI
did
today again.
Yeah, SMCI is going to be like that continuation fade. You were talking about AMD. AMD's been on a multi-week fade as well. But yeah, no, this was kind of the move on some of these biotech names. This was Moderna, right into the close. Look at that strong volume that comes in and it just quadruples, 41 halves to 38.75 low right there. And you see Pfizer as well. Pfizer is continuing to the downside here. We're closed in and around that $26 area. I was trying to get long for a potential bounce. That bounce never really came. We couldn't even hit the dime above 26. And this pre-market session, we just consolidate and go a little bit lower as of right now. So I'm continuing to watch that. But BNTX, a little bit more pricey, but definitely has the kind of move you're looking for if you're looking to capture points on points per share there. Breaks down from in and around 110s all the way to a 102, trading a little bit lower, and it's at 100 right now in the pre-market, Sean. So some of these biotech names definitely going to be on watch off the bat. But like I said, nothing too crazy.
I just, why is my wife sending me a message? I also need to order aloe socks.
Aloe? Like aloe as in like the plant aloe?
Not as in aloe vera, no.
Oh.
They're a clothing company.
Okay.
It must be pretty comfortable. I just responded, ouch, to her. Okay, yeah, a couple ideas there that we just talked about. I mean, we could go over so many more names. I guess the plan of action pretty soon we'll be having one more time on the show here, Michael Noss. And what a move. We've talked about this with Coinbase and with BTC itself and IBIT starting to go back up to the upside right now. 89,000. Looks like we're going to try to breach that 90 one more time. Huge dip. I mean, I don't want to say a huge dip, but we did have a good little fall in yesterday right at the close. Last hour, crypto went from 51 bucks. I'm just talking about IBIT here, all the way down to 49.50 right there. Nice recovery. Oh, and by the way, I just got another fill on Cardano. I sat there at 66 cents, and all of a sudden, that's what I was checking. We got the fill there. I don't know what's going on with some of these names here, but there's Cardano right now up 50% this week, up 15% just right now. Ripple also starting to move up, and that's another 19%. Bitcoin and Ethereum, the laggers right now, but they're doing all the heavy lifting in this space. Where's Solana? Right there. There it is. So 1.2% down, but up 5.5%. Look at Dogecoin this week. 87.
What did I say just a couple days ago?
You're hugely long on Dogecoin.
No, not other than that.
You like
top
Cardano.
Top five.
Oh, top five. It's not getting to top 5 though.
Number 6 right now.
Yeah, but it has to double in price with Binance Coin doing nothing.
Fair.
I mean, it's only I mean, look. The fact that this is even number 6, dude.
I'm surprised it surpassed XRP. I hold XRP as well. And I'm surprised it surpassed XRP. That's wild.
I mean, it's just wild that right now you're talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then forget about Tether, Solana, even Binance. I mean, that's off the exchange, right? I mean, at least that has some case maybe. And then Dogecoin and then Ripple. So
Doge has the best case.
One that kind of stands out to me is the one that has absolutely no use and infinite supply. Is
just
with
like real
Dogecoin.
Money. Yeah.
But anyways, all right. If we're ready for Michael, I thought I was just sort of pushing it, Fabian. What do you want me to do? All right, let's go to the desk.
All right.
Yeah, we'll bring in Michael Noss here, get a look at some other things that are moving around at the end, possibly, or a pause anyways, in this post-election rally that's been going on for a week or so. Whenever you're ready there, Fabian, just bring him in. There he is. Happy Friday, Mr. Noss. Good to see you.
Happy Friday.
Um,
Yeah,
I was reading this morning, just touching on that crypto note that Sean was making. I was reading this morning inflows into IBIT, the BlackRock ETF, absolutely monstrous yesterday alone, even though we saw that little sell-off at the end of the day. So we're still seeing all kinds of people piling in.
Yeah, so the question is, and this is the same thing, it was funny because the same thing you're seeing with the altcoins is the same thing I'm seeing with kind of the junkier stocks moving. Is this something that we see at the end of a cycle like this, where generally speaking, you get retail entering when things are getting a little bit extended? And, does that mean that we're going to pause a little bit here? Is there going to be a little bit, you know, it, is this the start or is this the end? The cynical part of me wants to think that, we're at a little bit of a pausing point anyway.
No, it's a good point. And I was going to actually mention that to you in the sense that when you look at a rally overall as a cycle, what does the end typically, or not necessarily the end, but a top typically look like? Do we start to get these, as you said, junkier stocks starting to pop up? And with that, we saw quite a day the past couple of days here for the GMEs of the world.
Yeah, so just like with the meme stocks in the crypto space, I've been seeing it in kind of the junkier or meme stocks in the stock space, if you want to call them that. And the first chart I have is just of GameStop and showing that this thing is starting to rally again, and really no news, no Catman came back, nothing's happening with it. And it just makes me think that when we start to see this extreme risk on behavior, that it's sometimes indicative of we could be getting to a potential, at least short-term top. I'm not saying, hey, the bull market's over, a big bear market's coming. But generally when things get really, really frothy, that could be near a top. And I actually just saw yesterday that they're about to launch, or launching today, actually, I think, a ETF that's going to be 2 times the 15 most volatile stocks in the market, and it's just going to leverage, it's just going to keep going. Whatever the most volatile names is, it's going to put it in this ETF and it's going to leverage it up 2 times. Again, to me, that seems like it might be a little bit toppy. So, but if we're going to have this kind of blow off explosion in some of these short float names, that's what I want to do. So next slide here is just a scan that I ran of everything that's incredibly heavily shorted in the market. It makes a very easy scan to do, to just go through it and see what's interesting here. We've got short floats going from 40% all the way down to 30%. But what I wanted to really target was something that I like the chart of along with the short float, because I think that's something that people need to kind of keep in mind, that if there is going to be some sort of blow off type meme coin, meme stock top, then you want to make sure that at least what you're trading is technically sound and is moving up, because when that occurs, you just want to make sure that you've got something that's not just complete garbage and is going to go to zero, right? Dogecoin, funny enough, is probably one of the safest meme stocks out there. I heard there's dog with hat and all of these things. Those are probably the ones that you might want to be careful of. It seems really weird that I'm in the universe that I'm talking about dog-related currencies and which ones are going to be the most safe on any one. So as I was scanning through this list, a couple names. One that stood out again was MindMed, but I talked about that the other day and still long that name. But one that I have highlighted here, PTC, that's pretty interesting. So the next chart I have just here is the weekly chart on PCT. And this $10 area is a big area. I think they do something with plastics manufacturing, which could be some sort of AI related play for all that I know. But looking at the chart, I'm seeing a 28% short float. So nearly 1/3 of the entire float is short, 12 days to cover. So 2 weeks for shorts to get out of their position. And just this $10 area, you can see all the arrows I pointed. It keeps bouncing off $10 to the downside. It bounces off it to the upside. It broke through it, and now it's pulling back. And this is something that came up in an algorithm that I'm running personally and that I'm building out and will be sharing with you guys in the coming weeks for a bit of a pullback here. So this $10 is interesting. It's a high short float. These short float junkie names are starting to run. So I'm just looking for generally targets, and this is what I'll spend most of my weekend doing. This one in particular as well looks interesting. So the next chart here is the daily chart, and I just anchored a VWAP from the all-time low, which was $5. So this thing's made a move from 5 to 15, and now it's pulling back to 10. So very, very volatile. But these initial thrusts are what I want to see on a heavily shorted stock. If when the stock was at $5, if I'm short 1/3 of the entire company, I'm okay. I'm not too worried. The thing's making new lows. I'm making money, everything is sunshine kittens. When we rally 200%, then I start to get nervous. So as this name's pulling back, if it finds the support around VWAP, which is around $10 as well, then I think that that's a pretty good place that if I was short, that I'd want to cover, I'd want to get out of this thing because it has this ability to triple my face. And as a short player, that would get me nervous. Last chart is just 30-minute chart. And this VWAP kind of lines up with 11, you could call it 10.50, $11, that kind of area. So my game plan going into today with this is just simply to watch the first couple 30-minute candles. And if we can hold this zone that I've highlighted, which is exactly 11.20, or the VWAP all the way down to 10.50, and looks like there's some sort of buying taking place, then I'm going to get involved in this name, and then my stop goes on a closing basis under $10 a share. So I just like to outline the actual trade execution on this. Now, ideally, if I can get in somewhere around here, and if my stop's $10 a share and I'm risking about $1, then I just look at it and say, well, if we get back to that $15 high, that's $5, so that's a 1 to 5 risk reward. And if we get through that, now we're talking 1 to 10. So I know that I'm probably going to be right half of the time, maybe a little bit more on a play like this. So if I have that risk reward in my favor, that's really all that I need to see. So the main theme, if you like this stock, is right. You could play it like I am, but the idea is that if we are seeing this kind of late cycle move where every junky name is running, then spend your time looking for junky names, right? The scanner like Trade Ideas, there's a lot of scanners out there that you can do to find high short float names that are moving. I think that's going to be a good place to look maybe for the next couple of weeks.
And again, I mean, we've touched on this in the past, but worth noting here, this is not investment advice by any way, shape, or form. It's simply an opportunity, the possibility of an opportunity here in the next couple of days.
Yeah, and this is more, I like to show what I'm potentially going to do with my money as an education for other people to see how I think. And if you think like me, then certainly do what you like. But yeah, this is just a trader saying this is what I like to do and this is my thought process and this is the area that I'm going to look at. Sometimes you guys hear me talking about I'm looking at gold and boring names or bonds or something like that. I just think for me personally, I'm going to look at these kind of junkier, more speculative names for the next few weeks until we get some sort of resumption in the S&P 500 to the upside that shows that you're safer, you're more companies that make money are starting to do well again as well.
Yeah, next checkpoint for said rally could be NVIDIA earnings coming up just around the corner here. So something to look forward to next week as well. Michael Noss, have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk again on Monday.
I'll talk to you on Monday.
Thank you, Mr. Noss.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, that's why I sort of want to talk a little bit about there. We talked about Dogecoin, Cardano, some of these other coins that are starting to really go up, and then relating that to meme coins and things like that. I think that's important to understand that you're in a moment sometimes, and as Michael said, looking at different things at different times definitely makes a lot of sense. Gold trade, I still think gold is a good trade right now. IWM, we talked about XBI, some of these other ETFs that have pulled back a little bit due to recent news, I think worth buying or at least looking at. By the way, we were talking about IBIT before we went to Michael, which was about like right around here. Now you're up another 50 cents as crypto continues to go. Remember, it was 89.8. And I threw it over there. So now you're up to $90,450, $90,450 upside right there as everything's starting to get going one more time here. NASDAQ, though, Obi, starting to go a little bit lower. And we, we'll look at some Apple trades here today. We talked about NVIDIA earnings coming through. I didn't see, actually, I'd have to look. It's not in our notes, any price target upgrades or anything today. There's been one every single day this week. I'll have to adjust that candle right there for the wick. But yeah, trying to hold out, but still down that 1%. So I was thinking, and I've added it to the sticky note, it's going to be out in 2 seconds here. AMD might be time to start looking at some shorts as this name continues to bleed out. I mean, it's pretty dramatic where we've come from on this name. I mean, this was 175 just a month ago. Now you're down to 135. Like if that was NVIDIA, that would be, people would be screaming and wondering what was going on. Is NVIDIA going to serve the same fate as this at some point? Earnings next week on the 20th, we'll find out. But yeah, starting to add some of these names to the old plot spot there. You're in Pfizer. It's too bad doesn't show it. You'd have to get out of a share or a position or something there, add to the position, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm
looking for that.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. OB right now short. You don't mind me telling people.
Yeah, no worries.
You're
You
10
can
cents
see
in
you
the
can
money,
you can
short
see it. You can see it on the chart there. So yeah, no, a little bit of a sell off right there. Continuation from yesterday's. I'm just looking for a day 2 play here. Something I did is drop an anchored to that volume that came in from yesterday, coming in through that 26. Now again, few names on this. Throw up some more tickers in the chat if you guys know more biotechs that are moving on this catalyst here. I'm looking at Moderna, Pfizer, and BNTX. You can see them right here. Kind of a continuation for the downside. Pfizer actually selling off a little bit more than some of the other ones right there. BNTX, a bit of a crumble there. Not really doing too much. 100 on the trading at 100 right now, but Pfizer has actually done almost 800K. Volume in the pre-market and actually printing some decent candles here. A bit of a legible chart relative to some of those other names there. But yeah, throw up in the chat if you guys have any biotechs that I'm missing that are actually moving. But that's all I got on board right now, man.
I know some other biotechs here too. I was seeing Eli Lilly, LLY reacted yesterday. That one's a little bit more expensive though. There's also NVAX I was seeing as a potential mover on that. GSK, which we'll get to in a minute, on the downgrade side of things too. So there are a couple other names here on watch. Now in terms of the upgrades and downgrades, we have TWLO Twilio here with an upgrade from Manes Crespi and Hart. Bloom Energy, BE, this is actually interesting. Getting an upgrade from Piper Sandler. This one has been halted, news pending since yesterday. So BE getting an upgrade despite the fact that it is not even tradable as of right now. Tapestry here getting an upgrade from Telsey Advisory Group. Second upgrade day in a row after announcing that it's no longer going to be pursuing its merger with Capri due to some regulatory hurdles. Then we have CRM here, Salesforce down in the day, but getting upgraded by BMO Capital Markets. GSK, as mentioned here, this is another potential biotech vaccine play here. GSK with a downgrade from Deutsche Bank. We have JetBlue getting downgraded here by Goldman Sachs. Applied Materials here downside after its earnings despite a beat across the board. Getting a downgrade here though by TD Cowen. And then we have Chipotle downgraded by RBC Capital Markets. Pretty interesting list on both sides, guys.
All right, no, thank you. We were just talking about, I actually like a name on there, a decent amount. Tapestry, didn't really look at that one there. I guess they had an upgrade yesterday as well, coming in with another one today. I just threw up an alert at prior day's highs right there, but taking a look at the weekly chart, you can see that these are all-time highs. Well, let's adjust this. Yeah, I guess no, that was adjusted. All right, so these are all-time highs adjusted, I think, for dividends or something like that. They're 2001 all the way trading from $1.32 and breaking some prior highs all the way from 2012 here at 54.76. Yesterday, quite strong on the day, so I like that name. That name's definitely going on my watch list as of right now. Other than that, I didn't really see too many other names on that list that kind of popped out. But Twilio, yeah, I see that you're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the chart for Twilio lately.
Oh boy, that's a daily. Damn.
Yeah, there's a daily chart here. This is Twilio. Like,
where are you running? Why are you running?
There's just some stuff, there's just some stuff happening right now. So yeah, I mean, another stock running up here. And again, so this is why I wanted to zoom out. To show people where Twilio's come from.
Oh boy.
Because sometimes when you look at these stocks, you think, oh my gosh,
I mean,
what exactly is happening? And then you look and say, what exactly has happened, right? So this is like huge right there. Then we zoom out and we say, that's a nice story, but there's Twilio right there. Huge move to the upside right now. I mean, breaking through that $70 mark was monstrous. That was just at the beginning of the month. Obviously a great report. Still kicks higher, and now it gets the upgrade. I mean, we'll see what happens with Twilio, but another great stock there. Look for the 100 break, honestly. It's flat on that upgrade. If the market wants to get going, this could break $100, then we fly just because it's an even dollar. So I would look at that, man. But yeah, a little too far, too fast there for Twilio, but at the end of the day, still has a lot more to go. This is another big name there in the data space. So we'll have to watch out for Twilio. Some other big names flying around. SoFi had a big move up. I'm still nervous about that stock. I feel like I should have basically exited stage left around 14. Maybe we get that opportunity here again today to get something out of SoFi. I just get nervous about this gap fill here because I think if it does breach this 13, which we're getting close to, then it definitely has. I don't even think it sits near 12. I think it just gets all the way down into there, and then we have an 11 handle on it. So not in one day. Like, I don't think it breaks 13 and goes right to 11. But at the end of the day, I think it lands somewhere around here, which is 20% lower. So we may have to think about that. Canada's greatest invention is Starbucks. Yes, correct. I think
Not
Seattle.
Justin Bieber.
I believe Seattle is somewhere located in Canada, but I'm not 100% sure about that. All right.
That?
We have second cup.
Oh, wasted.
That's right. Well, someone put that in the chat. What's up, hamster? That wasn't my hot take there.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I don't think Randy's here. We're gonna have to get our own coffees here in a couple of minutes. All right, let's go back over to the desk and start this watch list.
Oh.
59.78, guys. That's what we closed out yesterday on the ES December contract. We're well below that already, breaking through that 50 point level. So already the overnight low, 59.30. So let's number one see, can we get above 59.50, that 50 point level? If we can, then we're looking at that overnight high of 59.74 as resistance. If we keep bleeding, guys, let's look for that next support level right at that 59.25.
If you haven't done so yet, we have free stuff for you available down in the description. First link in the description is for the watch list. All you need is an email address. We'll send it right to your inbox every single day. Has everything that's moving in the pre-market and why on it for free. 2.8% here to the upside currently. Big move after the close, though. It's a little bit deceiving. That's aftermarket, so we're down from aftermarket, but this thing actually closed down here, 59.20 yesterday. So nice pop in the aftermarket. Yeah, Palantir jumping ship from the NYSE over to the NASDAQ, worth 2.8% here this morning.
It's not going to be bad look, Brino, because they might get added to the NASDAQ 100. And if that might be a situation where they have to accumulate the shares, so it might run up even more. I was telling Sean that this morning, so we'll keep an eye out on that. But Tesla specifically here, look, the EV tax credit has really helped sales. There's no doubt about that. But does it help the legacy automakers more than it does Tesla? So that's really the question here, because we're going to look at see how they're both doing together. So let's have a look. So the views, so Wedbush, Dan Ives chiming in on the tax credit today. He views it as initially negative, but he does look for profitability from Tesla to be able to take away market share from some of the legacy automakers. You also have Gary Black, the Future Fund Active ETF, saying he likens the loss of the tax credit to a price cut, which previously hurt Tesla's margins. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, Brendo, but lots of unanswered questions.
I didn't want to be rude and interrupt, but Fabian, our rundown graphic is not working right now. But hey, Tesla's next, so
My bad.
no, it's
Sorry,
fine.
yeah.
That's fine. That's exactly what we should be talking about. But we'll get that fixed. We were discussing Palantir, guys, jumping over to the NASDAQ.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have Palantir written on the sticky note today, too, as well. I wrote it down to 59 long. I mean, look, so I mean, I like the fact that we're jumping over to the NASDAQ. I couldn't really realize yesterday in the aftermarket why that was such a special thing. And then it made sense to me afterwards when we thought about, okay, now it can get added to the NASDAQ 100. And that's just another sort of jumping off spot for Palantir. But it just touched out at $62, which is the 52-week high. We've been up there before. We broke through into 63 and change on that wick. I'm not actually... I'm going to check the e-signal charts, but that might be true, actually, all the way up there. Yeah, 63.39 is the high for Palantir. So we got close yesterday in the after hours. I just wonder, with the NASDAQ down 1%, Palantir up another 2%, look, it's a great story here. If the market starts to rally, then I really like the stock, but I don't think I want to buy it right now. We've seen this name. Despite how much we like it, we've seen this name do moves like this. That's a 61.50 open all the way down to 58.50 just yesterday before eventually basing out here in the afternoon at 59 and then now getting going in the after hours up to $62. So, I mean, for me, let it settle down a little bit. I wrote down here and it's right on, it's on the note and it is what it is. You guys can go have a look on it. Some interesting names on there today. Names that I sort of teased with earlier, Pfizer, SMCI, but there's Palantir. The NASDAQ move could mean that NASDAQ 100 inclusion. It's overextended, but there's more catalysts ahead. So we want to play the dip buy into 59 bucks. So that's, we'll get in it a little bit earlier than 59, but that's kind of what we're looking at. Yesterday's close 59.50-ish is a good indicator there. But realistically, we were at 59 right at the open, little bump up on that news and then the extension. So I think we can buy it at 59 and see if that news actually is worthy of a hold. So that's going to be what I'm doing. I'm already bidding down there. I don't want to miss this one. So we're bidding 59.25. So hopefully it doesn't come into, maybe I should bid 59.50 just in case, because we'll be mad if we miss that. So I think we'll put it to 59.50. We'll bid twice there. It's a name I like. I like Palantir, up and away. But I do understand what the PE is. It's 300 and 300 plus. I have to go check it again. And it's well extended.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't,
just like,
what are you going to do?
I mean,
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? Just take a look at it. I mean, I'm just looking at some reference prices. We see that today's a Friday, a bit of a wick top on this weekly right here. So some of the reference prices I'll be watching for Palantir is the week open. The week open is at 60.13. Currently, we're trading at 60.77. The week low is at 58.53. That's another price that I'll be watching for. And something more interesting to me is prior week high and prior week close as well. So prior week close in and around that week low, 58.39, and the prior week high, 58.48. So around that 58 halves level, and the week open at 60 should be interesting to see going into the end of the week how we print. As of right now, though, we are a little bit in between yesterday's range and the prior day's range as well. So Wednesday and Thursday, we're trading within those levels there. Let's see if we can break that high at 63.39, or do we get a little bit lower there? 58s have been tested yesterday and a little bit in the pre-market on Tuesday, but we've held relatively well above some of those prior week levels on Palantir. So if we are poised for a little bit of a pullback because we are slightly extended, I'm going to be watching some of those prices to see what action does around there on Palantir.
I'm really excited for the next story, so let's go over to it because I want to find out why Elon Musk is not hating on this tax being taken, or the subsidy potentially being taken off here. So let's go find out what's going on with this EV story.
Yeah, going as far as even supporting the idea of squashing this $7,500 tax credit for EV purchases, which has, that story itself has stocks like Rivian this morning, some of the other names downside to the tune of 1.1% here for Rivian. But yeah, I mean, Tesla is still holding on to a bit of a positive start here today. But I mean, there wasn't much detail as far as the Tesla angle is concerned. Maybe the fact that, they're now best friends, I guess. He might have to toe the line a little bit here, Elon.
Exactly. Look, there's no doubt about it, Brendo. The credit has been a significant factor in making Teslas and generally EVs more affordable. It's just the question is, Tesla's the more established of the brands, and they're actually able to make money. The others are not. Rivian, Lucid, the legacy automakers, they're not able to make money yet. So who does this hurt more, and who can weather the storm, so to speak, better? That Tesla can, according to some of the analysts here. I gave you a couple of different looks from different analysts. Here's another one from Colin Langman at Wells Fargo. He sees the repeal as universally negative for automakers, making profitability harder for companies like GM, Ford, which don't yet make money on EV sales. I think I got it right this time.
Yeah, well, take two. Tesla breaking pre-market highs right now, right back to the upside, 1% already here, pre-market after a couple of down days.
Well, now it makes perfect sense, honestly. I mean, it's like if any company can weather the storm of these tax or this removal of the subsidy, then yeah, that makes sense. They're the only company actually making money. So I guess it just applies more pressure. Like if you're going to buy that Chevy Bolt or whatever it is, or Volt, or I don't know what it's called, or the Cadillac or whatever, now you're not getting that, I guess. So yeah, I mean that makes sense. Puts a little more pressure on pricing power of the other companies. So okay, yeah. So I like the story there. And again, this is a long for me today. Whenever we see a story or stock that is up when the market is down, we kind of know which way we're trying to look. And that's for me, You know, we always talk about it. People were saying, you know, thank you for the sticky note, thank you for all these ideas. But I try to make it pretty simple. And today the market started to go down. So what do I have written down? I have short sells on Pfizer, shorts on AMDs, the SMCI short, the Palantir long if we dip, the Amazon long if we dip. Then we're going to talk about Alibaba in a minute. I kind of ignored Tesla. But that VWAP, I mean, it held it down there at 311. So I feel like that's yesterday's closing price. Also, why not have a look down at 311, 310? The only thing is that when you break it, it'll get pretty violent. Like it broke 310 there and it stopped at 308, and then we got going, and then I stopped charting. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening down in this level. But I think it's worth a dip buy. If the market doesn't like the news, or if Tesla just gives some back here. You know, again, people could come in, maybe they were short yesterday into the close or something, and there could be some covering happening. That might be what's happening right now, and then Tesla eventually does come back home and where we were yesterday into 310, 311. So I think that this would be another dip buy long. So I think we could safely add right now Tesla to the dip buy long opportunities, and to me that would be around 310. But don't forget, like $4 on a $300 name, Obi, as we know, this could easily lose that. And I just remember we started off bad. I don't know if it was Tuesday or whatever the day was when Tesla was breaking and we punched short. I think it was 336. It was the 336 level. I remember that clearly because then it went right to 340, and I won't be able to find which day it was. 336. Yeah, it wasn't this day because that was clean. Oh, it was this day, actually. It was right off in the morning. Yeah, so right here, we wanted to get long, 336, 338. I think we talked about that. Anyways, it broke it, and then in the same minute, it went up like $8. It went $4 and another $4 off those levels in 1 minute. So I might see something like that happen today in and around this 310 area where we drop $3 or $4 immediately and then take a move back to the upside. So yeah, I like the Tesla long today. Took a minute to get to there, but I think we like that trade.
Yeah, it's coming into some of those prior supports. I mean, Monday was a great day to get short, and we've been having some decent continuation. I was just pulling back. This is a 3-hour chart right here, so you can see Monday we made some of those local highs there, traded all the way down to a low of 302.68 in the pre-market here. Bigger picture trend, you were perfectly fine in the bigger picture trend. I think this can definitely take a little bit of a pullback and still be within that uptrend here. But looking back at it, some prior resistance potentially and looking for them to turn supports is right here on 299.80, 299.29 is that prior high right here. October of 2022, from August to October of 2022, we have a bit of a shelf here with a held offer in and around the same prices that we're at right now. So around 314 halves right there. So some interesting prices that we're coming into on this pullback. I'm curious to know whether we do that 300 bounce. In the pre-market, we're already about 13 points off of that 300 level with a 302.68 low. Again, being a Friday, we've sold off quite extensively over this current week. And if you look at a daily chart here, you can see the run up. It's absolutely beautiful here. About 5 days after the gap, green, 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 green. And then on the first red day, we start taking a little bit of a pullback here as well. So I'm curious to know where the bid will catch. We've identified some levels. Now let's wait for them to show up in the market session.
Introducing a new discovery on the NASDAQ, Worksport, ticker WKSP. Worksport is a U.S.-based manufacturer and rapidly expanding with growing revenues, government contracts, and innovative green energy products designed to power your life off the grid. Whether you're on the move or seeking sustainable energy solutions, Worksport has you covered. Now trading on the NASDAQ under WKSP. Discover the future of clean energy with Worksport. Let's touch on crypto here, as I alluded to there with Michael Noss. That's a big number, 1.1 billion record inflows into all of these ETFs. IBIT, the BlackRock edition, benefiting, I believe it was the highest yesterday individually, but just a monster day, even on a down day.
Yeah, and you bring up a really good point because you had net inflows into IBIT and net outflows into all the others, despite the fact that there were net outflow yesterday. So the third largest net outflows since the inception of these ETFs, with about $400 million being withdrawn. It's also normal for profit taking to be at these levels after new highs. Investors cashed out yesterday yesterday, about $15 billion worth of profits, according to Glassnode data. But to build on your point, IBIT gained about 126.5 million, while Fidelity lost about 180 million. Bitwise lost about 114. ARCs also saw outflows about 161. So they continue to do a little bit better than some of their counterparts.
I was just double checking to see if Kathy Wood was on CNBC, but I wonder if she was talking about her Bitcoin ETF and how that's going for. I think they must be done, but anyway, good season, I guess, for a Kathy Wood type of investor right now. Anyways, regardless, thoughts on crypto today, guys?
There she is. What did you don't want to pick that up?
She knows I'm on the air.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Right, talk.
She always calls at the worst times.
We've already dealt with that.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna have crypto look at right here. I mean, so Bitcoin again, like, you know what, Obi? It just seems like it wants to hold this 87. I mean, I know 88 was there as well. I don't know if we're going to get down to that $87,000 mark again or not. But I feel like we want to try to dip by, like, you know, there's the dip into 85, it held it. There's then the dip into 86, it held it again. And then this last one was into 87. So where's the next one going to be? 88? I mean, that would make a little bit of sense. On a 3-minute chart, you're right there. I'm going to actually go into a 5-minute because this is what I look at generally for the show as well, if this updates. So I like the 200 period for 5-minute chart, right? So that's it right there. The 200 period's at 88.4. So for me, that's something. So 88.4. So all right. So then we look over here, and I look at a stock. By the way, Amazon right now bleeding even more to the downside right now as the Nasdaq continues lower. I have Amazon as a bid down at 207. So if that comes into play, fine. All right. So here's IBIT then. So we look at the same chart here for IBIT, 200 period. Remember, it's going to be slightly different because Bitcoin is traded 24/7. So the 200 period is very, very active. Obviously, with the 200 period now on this 5-minute is higher. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a better job at trying to find something for IBIT that matches. But I can see this support down here. If we can get into this like 49.50 area, 49-ish or so for IBIT, I think that's worth something. Psychological level of 50. We got out yesterday when it broke that. That turned out to be wrong as we closed. We didn't close there, but we got back up into $51 before this epic fall again. Right there into the closes. I talked about that with Mike, or before we threw it to Michael. So I would say, hey, look, we bounced yesterday 49.40s. I feel like we can get into this area again here today. So it's just a matter of watching out what's going on. We were just at 90,500, if you guys recall me talking about that. Now you're back down there, another $1,000 downside. So it's losing the bid now. So IBIT's losing the bid. I'm going to put a bid down there around that 49.50 mark, see if we can grab that and then look at it then. So that's going to be a level for me on IBIT, 49.50, to try to dip by something. It's been such a great trade. I've loved trading this. It's held levels. It's ripped off those levels. Trading Bitcoin's been a hell of a lot of fun, and I'm glad that we finally have something like IBIT to do that on the market.
Yeah, no, this week has been pretty wild in crypto territory, pushing those all-time highs. Actually coming in from last week, right? Last week we broke out of some of these prior consolidations right here. And yeah, we kind of keep looking at this trend resistance that we were in for a short amount of time, just for a few months, and then nice little leg up. So you got that leg consolidation, consolidation underneath prior all-time highs as well. That's definitely an interesting set of price action right here as we consolidate tightly underneath prior all-time highs before taking that push out. And interestingly enough, earlier on, look at this little dip that kind of happened here. If I can pull it up. Yeah, right here. So look at the strong volume that we're pushing on these dips here as we make higher lows, pushing towards that or fresh all-time highs pretty much almost every day this week. Yeah, it should be interesting. End of the week, though, I don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin, but I think this weekend is definitely packed with some interesting price action that may take place. But who knows? I know nothing. Bitcoin apparently only goes up in the long term, and we're seeing some fresh all-time highs. 93,495 is the high here on Coinbase. Some of these local lows coming in at 86.7s and 86s right here. So those are the wicks I was kind of talking about, aggressively kind of bought up on expanding volume there as we push towards some fresh highs. So yeah, I'll be watching some of these crypto names here. MSTR is definitely an interesting ticker as well. We've been holding this 320 quite nicely back-to-back days. You can see that coming in on Tuesday. Strong push. Even on Monday, this consolidates and holds that 320 before taking a leg higher. And then consecutive days, look at that bid. That does come in off of that 320. So that's a level that I'm definitely going to be watching on MSTR. Mara, haven't really dabbled in this ticker as much as of late, but a bit of a triple top happening here at that 26, and we've been selling off. Again, earnings today would be what? Earnings day 3 is today. We got a nice little continuation on earnings day 2 of that sell-off that came in right off of the opening drive on earnings day 1 here on Mara. I'm going to be watching some of this prior day lows right there at that 2020, 2018, and then prior day high as well at that 23. So it should be interesting. Bit of an inside pre-market right now, hasn't really broken some of those prior days levels. So let's see what Bitcoin does on a Friday. I'm going to be watching. I think MSTR is definitely a little bit more interesting to me than some of these miners there. IBIT, obviously.
MSTR is huge because it's such a levered Bitcoin product.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people, I guess, betting against it, thinking like, you know, it doesn't make any sense type of thing. And I feel like some of those players, if they're putting money down on those ideas,
what are they saying about that? What I mean, they own 280,000 Bitcoins
Yeah.
at an average price of 42,000. I think the math is simple.
I'm saying they're saying the stock is overpriced relative to what they actually hold.
Yeah, I mean, there is a added value to it because you can trade it with options and all that kind of stuff. So there is an added premium. If you divide, I guess what you're saying is that if you take the 280,000 times it by the 42,000, the market cap of MSTR is going to be higher than that. Yeah, and the reason why is that it's so levered because they'll borrow money in the open market at 3 or 4% and then drop all of that cash into Bitcoin. So that's where if their cost of goods, let's just say, is 4 or 5% because they're just getting capital, and then they're dumping that into crypto, and that's moving 10%, then you're getting such a great return, right? We're talking about marginal returns on bank lending. I mean, these guys are doing it in the crypto space. So Michael Saylor wins as long as Bitcoin keeps going up. And I mean, I like the spot. I like MSTR. I've never been an investor in it, but yeah, very risky if you're going into that name. But great for a day trade. That's
Oh yeah. Great day trading vehicle.
All right, 8 minutes left. Let's go back over to the big guys.
All right, let's touch on Alibaba here. Quite the reversal underway right now after better than expected earnings results. We're now red on the morning here for Baba. Topped out about 95.5 there and then straight back down to basically where it ended the day yesterday. I mean, we were touching on this with Mitch earlier in the week. This is kind of how these trade, you know. You'll get these huge gaps, you know, most days in the morning in the pre-market, and then they'll just kind of sit around. But even with earnings, very, very volatile.
Very, Brendo. And they're often traded by Asian traders in the pre-market. That's why we usually have these gaps that show up. Let's talk about how they've done, how Alibaba has done since that big move up in September with all the Chinese ADRs when David Tepper was on CNBC telling you to buy everything. Let's have a look at the chart over here, guys. September 30th, we topped out at that $120 area. We're at $90. That's a 26% drop since the end of the month. So it's a bit of a tougher look here. Despite no real catalyst to the downside. How they did on earnings, net income, 58% year over year, exceeding expectations. Revenue, though, was only growing about 5% year over year. Brendo missing analyst expectations. Taobao and Tmall, their e-commerce platforms in China, not really doing that well, 1% annual growth. Where they did find success was international platforms like AliExpress and Lazada, 29% year-over-year growth. And last but not least, their cloud division, Brendo, grew 7% year-over-year. But when you compare that to the likes of Google, Azure, and the others, they're going at double digits. So this is kind of anemic in comparison.
Yeah. No, good point. You mentioned Tepper there. There was a number of 13 Fs at the end of the day yesterday that had these on them, including, Michael Burry. Again, take these for what it's worth. It's the end of last quarter. As of the end of last quarter, he was doubling down on some of these Chinese ADRs, including Alibaba. So institutional money in ADRs, guys.
All right, so yeah, this is I mean exactly what Sharif was saying there about, you know, when these stocks can be traded. They're traded in the morning time. They kind of go to sleep near the end of the day. We've talked a little bit about that as well. You can see here yesterday, although into earnings, we still didn't move too much there in the afternoon, but you do get some nice moves in the first period, and that's what's happening right now in the AM trade. So it's funny because I just talked about this yesterday, and I was talking about it with Wayne, and we talked about it on the show, and it was like, I don't like Alibaba, and I sold Alibaba up here, and I just don't think that there's much reason to buy this name, but yet it's on today's sticky note as a long. So I wanted to try it down here at 90 bucks. I thought we could wait to see if it was going to hold green. It's already turned red. So this on here, I'm not in love with the trade. If they can't get going, the quarter wasn't that bad. I am going to take, I thought I did have a bid down here somewhere. I do. So I'm bidding at 90.10s here or so. If we get that fill, we'll take the long. But I'm definitely not in love with that trade. We've already broken below yesterday's levels. You know what? I might cancel this. Yeah, it's too early if this breaks 90, we could crack in. So, okay, so I've now taken that away. Not good performance here. When we're writing the sticky note, you know, we're up here at $93. Like this is before. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what went down there at 8 o'clock. I mean, we could check the market on open imbalances right now. So this is not going to show, well, now we get the NASDAQ ones. Rivian, oh no. This just came out 20 seconds ago. So Rivian with the big sell. Can we get short Rivian right now, maybe?
Rivian?
Yeah, well, because again, it's that cut, right? They're not going to like the. Oh no. Oh come on, Sean. I'm chasing this name. It's SSR. Okay, now we're short. Okay, we're short 06s there. All right, so we just got filled on that play. All right, so there it is. So Rivian is SSR, I guess, from yesterday. We're only short here at 06. This is a play on that imbalance. Again, we'll try to get short here. We're not going to like lose our mind over this trade by any stretch of the imagination. But there it is right there. The Palantir bid hits. So that's already up to 61. So congratulations there, Palantir. Good trade there. Amazon sell continues to come in. What name was I talking about? Alibaba. That's what I wanted to look for. So I don't even see Alibaba on here unless I missing it.
No, I don't see it.
Tesla with the sell. All right, guys. NASDAQ, alert, alert, alert. Hold on, we have something for that. Look what we have here. SMCI is sell. No one, that's fine. Amazon is sell. Apple is sell. Tesla is sell. Google a sell. I just saw NVIDIA also a sell. So you're going to see the prices on here. Look at this continued pressure right there. Where's Amazon? Where was NVIDIA was a sell. So right now with only 4 minutes to go, NVIDIA is kind of eating that sell up because that's not too many shares right there. It was already paired off 4 million of them. So yeah, this could be a red day, guys. NVIDIA down 1.12%. So, all right. I'm now short Rivian, first trade of the day for me right there, short Rivian 1007. And again, remember you said like you never know what's going to be traded. I didn't even have Rivian to look at there. So go over what you think about Alibaba maybe.
I mean, Baba with...
And then I'll look at Rivian.
Yeah, no, Baba with earnings, a bit of a pop and drop off of that earnings report there. So we've pretty much given back everything. I guess I do have it on watch here because it is an earnings day one play, but no real plans in and around it. We kind of talk about that hand saying it on the backside of that move from that carryover push. Sorry, not that carryover. I'm getting things mixed up.
Trade
from the stimulus push that we had over the past
you did it.
few weeks. What's that?
You got it out. The stimulus.
The stimulus.
The stimmies.
Yeah, the stimmies. So it's like, all right, we're on a bit of a sell-off since then. So I'll continue watching this. Maybe some more selling coming off of this earnings, which we're already seeing in that pre-market session right now off of that report.
Back over the desk.
All right, real quick, we'll wrap things up here with AMAT semiconductors in general. Applied materials here downside to the tune of 10.5%, just made a new low on the morning here. Despite actually a decent report, there are notably a number of 4 or 5, I was just reading, negative analyst notes on this morning as well.
Yeah, Brendo, they missed on the top line, but they were able to beat on the bottom line by shoring up costs. But that's not really what you want to see because your business is contracting when you have a top line reduction. The demand weakness really is coming from all the non-AI related microchips and semiconductors. There's very little spending in that area. And there's also the problem of export curbs. Export restrictions on high-end chips and equipment to China add uncertainty to suppliers and chip makers, so they've been hurt by that. Kind of a tough look, almost down 10%.
Yeah.
All right, so I didn't. Okay, so Alibaba did break 90 there, and it flew down to 89.70s. So that's like we probably would have lost if we would have taken that. So we will stop on that one and not worry about it. I said to Obi today about AMAT. I was like, okay, first of all, we only have a minute left.
Right? Yeah.
This is going to be SSR in a couple of seconds. So there's an SSR bounce play. I just said to Obi with only a minute left, so we got to get ready to do this, is that if we turn this chart upside down and it had the opposite move and went the other way, we would think that maybe it'd be breaking out. But like normally we'd be looking at this trade and say, wow, it's breaking out to the upside. We're in an up market. We're looking for these kind of trends. But this name right now is breaking a major level here and actually trying to get back into its yearly. I mean, we could go red for the year if we break anywhere below this like 164, 165 area. So for me, AMAT unfortunately is a short in and around 165 as Rivian goes right back into the money. Obi, we don't have much time to go over AMAT with you, so we'll do that maybe as the market opens. With only 10 seconds to go right now, we will drop that bell down and then ring it up. So right now we're on Rivian. We're looking at Palantir, Pfizer, and the works. We got those orders in. Hi, Adara. Today's opening bell brought to you by Worksport, WKSP on the NASDAQ 2 and 1. And there we go. All right, well, Amazon just fell right into our laps. Not necessarily a good thing. Amazon coming in quickly right now, down into that 206 area. This is a level that we thought could possibly support it. So we're long Amazon right now in this general spot. 206, there it goes. Nice little ripper here for Amazon. And oh boy, we're getting a nice little coverage here on Rivian as that's starting to go down lower as well. Let's take something out here on RIVN and then just work this trade as we go. So Rivian short, we don't have any outs. It just cracked lower. We should have had a bid down there. We did not. We'll learn our lesson, put a bid now, get out of like 5% here at 01 if we can. Amazon starting to go back upside as well, taking now out 207. We're long at 206.65. We might have done it again right here with an early dollar winner on Amazon if it can go.
Yeah, man. Pfizer opening up a little bit lower there. Was short in the pre-market, got out when it kind of bid back in, but that selling coming in quite aggressively off of the open layer. Let's see if we can get to 25s. Oh boy, a lot of these biotech names. I'm looking at that Moderna and BNTX, like I pointed out earlier as well. Here comes 25, Sean. Oh boy, on Pfizer. So we're already down from 25.70s in the pre-market all the way down to 25.20s as of right now. So let's see if we can continue that sell-off again on that news that came out end of day yesterday in and around what is that candle right there? Around 3:30, it came out at. I've dropped an anchor to that price as well. We are accelerating.
We are dropping it like it's hot right now.
Forget about that anchor. Here comes 25s. Can we break through that 25s with any sort of conviction there? I had to kind of sit there for it to come pick me up. I don't know if it's SSR, but I think it definitely. Actually, you know what? I can measure that right now to see if that is. No, not necessarily. We're about 3 to 4% away from closing price right here. But here comes that $25 level. Is there any real size at that level? I'm not really seeing anything too much. Oh boy, we're gonna. No one's willing to buy 25s apparently on the bid there, as there's absolutely no size that I'm seeing of any sort of significance just yet showing up. So we're probably gonna eat through it like butter. We're trading at 25s now. Is it a reserve? Is that level iced?
Wow, Palantir.
Is the buyer not showing himself? I don't think so, Sean, but there's definitely a bit of a reserve sitting on that 25. Here we go, breaking through that 25 as of right now. Oh boy.
Let's go.
Biotech's to the downside. I was looking this morning. I told you, I was like, oh, what's going to fall into our lap? I have no idea. But if it's going to be some of these biotech names that did have some strong volume coming into the end of the day yesterday, I do want to get involved there. I think getting involved in the pre-market was the right idea, but I did stop out for that break even, which again, maybe not the best decision making. Got to give it to that anchored VWAP or current VWAP as well. There goes Disney on the way back up. So Disney on the rise there. So again, that short was nice yesterday off of that 114s. Came all the way down to 108 and changed by the end of the day. But look at this drive off of the open there, aggressive 109s to 112s on Disney on a day 2 earnings. So interesting stuff there. I'm looking to get more of this Pfizer if we can hold below this 25 as of right now. But that was an aggressive sell off of the open. So I do have to kind of, be a little wary about it. Here comes 25 again. Off of that, I guess, the no size, right? There's no size sitting at that level. Maybe some reserves that were broken through, but continues to go down. ATR on this ticker is 59 pennies. You know what? If that's the case, I'm going to take some off right here.
We're in 3.
We're about an ATR ATR in the money. I think I should be covering a little
trade.
bit there. Definitely could have had a lot more there through that pre-market low break of 25.6s. This was actually reserving on the bid in the pre-market at 25.6s. And I was like, after I saw that reserve, I'm like, all right, well, if it's going to hold the bid there, I want to give it back to break even. I don't necessarily want to be involved. Maybe not the best decision making on my part, but when that 25.6 breaks right off of the open, oh boy, I do want to get short sitting on top of that on top of that 25 halves. Let's see if we can convincingly hold and break further below this 25 level. Let's take a look at some of these prior levels on this name as well. Sean saying he's long Palantir. It's going. Wow. Okay, fresh highs, all-time highs on that name.
So we have a pretty good trade there. Okay, so Amazon just fell through 206. We got out of that one. So we're able to get some in, some out again. That'll be a wash trade. That really sucks. Palantir, though, nice upside move. We get that back on Palantir as it's starting to go back up to the upside. And then check out our boy Rivian as well. So just like you right there, we've got 50 cents on Palantir. We've got 20 cents on Rivian. And I think Rivian gets lower. We just got a bid there at 85 right now as this market collapses. And that Amazon, too bad about that one, does not hold. It held great at the beginning. And we had that early drive yesterday on Disney, and then it kept on fading out the rest of the day. Palantir, wow. I mean, absolute. Look at the size on Palantir, though. Get that stupid thing out of here.
Wow,
there's lots of size there on Palantir on the off. Bye-bye. Like, did you think that even mattered right there? Oh, my God. Wow. Kathy, what are you even doing? You're just buying everything.
She called you earlier, man.
She didn't pick up.
She probably wanted to tell you that.
I didn't know she was wiping 63s like that. I mean, nice move there by Kathy Wood and company. I have no idea who it was. But there we go. Nice move upside there for Palantir. Wiped 63, and here's the pullback in. Oh, boy. Was that exciting to see that one. Rivian for the win today. Pfizer for the win today. Adara at the desk.
Let's take a look here at ARM. ARM here increasing volume to the downside. Elliott management apparently actually adding 800,000 shares via a call position. So options play here for Elliott. But NVIDIA here, NVDA decreasing its stake in ARM by 13%. This is according to the 13F filing. So not a massive decrease, but enough to send ARM down about 5%, guys.
Trade, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. But it's like, again, kind of talking about this Pfizer trade, I'm just like, yeah, I guess I'll be honest, like being on the show, a little bit different sizing strategy than being back at the desk. I'll definitely admit that.
Like you're doing less size now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more I can't put my 100% mental into watching the ticker or watching the tape. So I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Then if you're going to be slightly distracted, then you will size accordingly based off of what your mental state is. And yeah, definitely. Here comes in 75s. Oh boy, I'm sitting there on that. Am I sitting on 75s? Yes, I am. Okay, cool, nice. So it is taking out lower lows on Pfizer, holding in that last quarter underneath that 25. If we can convincingly hold, like I said, convincingly hold under 25 and trade a little bit lower, I want to get more involved in this ticker. Because if the selling is real, Sean, and we catch a little bit of a bid, where will that selling kind of catch up again? So VWAP sitting at 25.12s. All right, so that's not too bad there. Again, already doing over 1 ATR off of the opening price here on Pfizer. So this move, and then beautiful. Here's the thing. See, this is what I mean about lack of awareness on trades like this. The market is also dumping.
Right.
I'm staring at this Pfizer tape. I'm not even taking a look at the market, which is right here in the middle of my screen. And I'm like, okay, well, the market's coming in as well. So that means, okay, if you have tailwind, maybe you should be even more aggressive on something that's moving in the same direction. So yeah, Pfizer to the downside, 24.75s now. Let's take a quick look. Look left on the chart here and see what levels we may be falling into. So, okay, so 30-minute not going to do it for us. Let's go straight to a 3-hour chart here and look left. So right away, 24s potentially is where we caught the last bid. Rivian. Right here, 24 halves, 24.12s as well. So let's see if we can come into that 24 level. We're already trading 24.70. Sean, what's up, Adara?
Just be aware here of TSLA. I'm seeing reports here from CNBC that XAI, which of course is run by Tesla CEO Elon Musk, is going to be looking to raise as much as $6 billion in new capital. So after the raise, their valuation will be over $50 billion. So apparently some capital raised for XAI, which is run by the same CEO as TSLA, guys. Though Tesla's giving up a lot of gains here.
Oh boy, I was just saying to Obi, like, thank you, Adara, for that story there. We'll look at Tesla in a second here, but I mean, we've got its brethren right here, Rivian, huge move to the downside right now. I mean, let's just cash it in right now. It's not necessarily a plane crash in the name here, but it's a nice move to the downside, and we're pretty happy to have this one. We put this on for everybody. We talked about it. We have double the pleasure, double your fun, and double the fills at 10.10 or so there. So it's a good short for us, or for me, coming through there right now as this guy's crushing Pfizer over there. We've got Palantir. Oh boy. Like, we missed the Palantir move, but you know, don't worry about that because it came right back in pretty much right away. And we were able just to buy that dip. We didn't even buy a dip, actually. I just busted that through at 62.50, bought that move. And yeah, now you're 100% right, by the way, Sharif. All-time highs Palantir right now. It's just ripping up. And it does. It makes a lot of sense. I did sell some at open, so I'm here to tell you, did get out of 10% of that again. But huge move up there, nice move into 63. So I don't even know what price I got. I mean, I probably would have been right off the open there. So 30, probably 61.50s, maybe even less than that. We'll figure that out. Not a good price. But there goes Palantir, sorry, 63. We just got another piece out right there at 62.99. It is a little weaker here. So let's be careful with all of this. Rivian making the move down. SMCI, alert. It's now in the box here. Yeah. What's up, Adara?
BENF, this has been efficient. They did report their results for their fiscal Q2 2025. Revenue up nicely here year over year. We've got a $10 million market cap and a float of around 3 million shares here for BENF, guys.
The thing is, it's been sold off so much, right? Yeah. That's the thing. We're just talking about this tech basket I'm looking at right here of chips. I got NVIDIA, AMD, Intel. I'm watching the SMH as well, Vanex Semiconductor ETF. I'm watching TSM and ARM and TQs as well. SMCI is the only one with an aggressive bid out of that lot there.
Well, we're hitting it right now.
We're just like, yeah, I mean, it's been getting sold off quite aggressively. I see that Sean is taking a quick short scalp there.
Not a huge trade. Yeah, I only got it at 5% there. Let's just let it go down to the downside right here if we could do that for SMCI. So again, another sticky note trade. We wrote down 18. I mean, we wrote down 18.50 here for this play. So there it is right here on our note today. SMCI 18.50 to $19. Let's not get out until we break 19 is what we wrote down into there. So let's try to be as patient as we can. Let's need to stay above 19 to change our mind. There's Palantir. We knew that. Let's check in on Alibaba. Great. I don't have Pfizer. This man, the myth, the legend right beside me does. So let me check out on what Alibaba's doing. We stayed away. Perfect. Yes. All right. Props it up, man. This was a name that we were like uncertain of. Remember, we talked about what we wanted to do with Alibaba, and I'm glad that we changed our mind there at 90 because that would have been definitely 50 cents worth of a hit, probably for sure, because I would have thought we had 50 cents back. So nice move. I'm celebrating it because we're not in it. So that was a good one. More outs there on Rivian. We're getting lighter and lighter in the space on that. So that's Rivian. SMCI. Oh boy, let's go to the downside for SMCI. There's another 20-cent winner right there, 25 cents. We'll take some more money on that one. Here we go. Come on, Rivian. Bring it on back in. And then Palantir, trying to hold above. I'm waiting at nowhere. I'm going to put an offer right now and get something out at 7 and 8, then go again at 13s and just go higher and higher and higher as the day high right there. Oh boy, that's another face slapper. We in the building again, baby. So a good trade here on Palantir. Can we?
Yes, we can.
Can we, Palantir? Can we, Alex? Let's go, Carp. All right.
You're going to have to hit that one soon. Once again, maybe, perhaps.
You got it. Okay.
I mean, 24.65.
I love that Pfizer.
On Pfizer right now. So Quadunk to the downside. Nice little continuation. And we got a little lucky with that market tailwind coming in as well, right? So I'm just like, all right, well, I also want to check out this looking fresh, Joe. Nice.
Joe,
I like the full suit, dude.
Joe,
you're gonna come on with the full suit?
The thing is,
you're making us look bad. Making us look bad.
Look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
We should take a look at that. Just look at him.
This may be his last day. I don't know. No, looking great. I told this guy as soon as I saw this guy, I was like, bro, I think you're in the wrong spot. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, I'm here to trade. I'm like, okay. But yeah, looking good over there, Joe.
Hey,
look, I want to say something here. I mean, we have a great time with Neil on the show all the time, but like, it's been a great Great change of pace having Obi here. So I want everyone to acknowledge this is not Obi's last day. He's going to be with me on Monday as well, as Neil needs, because Neil's getting old. He needs a lot of time to recover from all this stuff. So although he's going to be, you know, chilling out, we'll give him Monday off. He'll recover, and then he'll be back on Tuesday. So you will be, I can say this for myself for sure, greatly missed. Great opportunities, great insight to everybody here.
It's been a great week.
On the floor. And you've made my trading a lot better as well. So, you know, don't often get to say that. So there you go. Thank you for everything that you've given to us. And I mean, I love the idea that when I come in and I'm like Pfizer and you're like Pfizer, and those are some great plays. Yesterday, Disney, we had the opposite way. Both of us were able to cash on that as well. So
I mean, that was perfect. Like you got long where there was strong reasons to get long, and then I got short where there was strong reasons to sell. And it's like, you know, we kind of passed the baton for I'm
just joking. Neil's not that old. He's just he's actually.
I mean, didn't you guys?
I'm a couple months older, but
okay, yeah. I was gonna say, didn't you guys go to high school together?
A couple months old. Yeah, isn't that a nice story? Actually,
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. Neil and I go all the way back.
All the way back.
Yeah. Lots of It's not that emotional though. It's really not. But yeah, good friends, and that was part of it, right? I had sort of introduced Neil to this game, and we're obviously glad that we've been able to do that, and I'm so glad to have it with you here as well. So all right, what now? Was I here? So yesterday, something was in that tea. We have no idea what it was. But right now, I thought I heard a throw for Adara. But
yes.
We did. Okay, good. What's up, Adara?
Applied Materials climbing back nicely here off of its post-earnings lows, now trying to come back here to maybe potentially to fill this gap. Basically, they did beat here for earnings per share and sales, at least on the adjusted side. Gap EPS there without the adjustment was actually a miss for AMAT, but they did here, they have their guidance as well. It's kind of I guess, not a well-received report. We did have a lot of negative analyst notes, but right now, stock making a nice recovery with, again, that sales beat. Also worth noting here, I'm seeing reports from CNBC that XAI is looking to buy 100,000 NVIDIA chips. So watch out here for NVDA. Apparently, XAI going to be a big purchaser there for their Memphis data center, guys.
And I mean, that's the thing. Like this is why I'm very, very excited to hear about Blackwell, to hear about what NVIDIA is talking about, where the supply is, where the demand is, and so on and so forth. Because I think we're coasting, man. I think there's going to be a lot of new wave here, CapEx spending into this space as more and more. Like we just got announced that Amazon's into healthcare and prescription. Like there's more and more knowledge. Yeah, there's more and more things coming for all these companies that apparently are too big or not too big to fail at some point, as we use a banking terminology there. But all right, so one company that's continuously having some troubles here and may have some more with regulators, especially if they do not get that old report coming through, is going to be SMCI. So it's actually not doing much here today. Yesterday, we actually got waxed on it early when we talked about it finally just going up, and we didn't believe in it, only for it to close basically at the lows. And we got it back because we were able to short rate here yesterday at 1870. So that's going to be the level for me now, despite being out of it right here. We're not out of the stock, besides being out of a few of the spots. I'm not reloading at this spot. I'm going to put a reload here at 1870. So I'm actually sitting there right now. If it bumps up into that space, then we will get a little bit more shares into that spot. So Obi's got the dollar in the money right now. We've got Palantir's Palantir, we can almost hit it for the dollar. It's not quite there yet. We got some nice outs on Palantir. And again, like, just punched along. I did take a little bit more shares on breakouts than when it's dripping down in like that. Like I'll show you a play on Amazon here. We never really had that many shares here because it fell right into our level. So then we reloaded it there. So that was putting on a decent spot, and then it broke lower. So remember yesterday, Candy? Yo, what's up, Candy? For that $5 super chat, you asked me about what I thought about Amazon in it today. And I said I did not like the stock because it was red against the NASDAQ. And there's Amazon today down 3 extra percentage points. So, I mean, we actually, well, props it up. Thank you for the question. But I feel like that was a decent call there. And I have no idea why it's reacting this badly today because I tried to buy it. So, there goes that for Amazon. But again, another nice move there on the day. I'm going to refresh my scanners here because like not much is hitting. We're just, it's been a straight downside move. Yeah. So all the levels are now upside. that we're waiting for pullbacks. You know, Rivian actually making a nice move back upside. This could be another short. I was going to give this one to the 200 period, which is coming back in now, 1020. So we'll reshort this at the 50 or maybe even, I'm not going to wait for VWAP, it's already there. 1005, 1006 there, and then get out if we break above this 1020 marker for Rivian. So that's what we're doing right there. Palantir, Rivian, SMCI, all in the money, just we need to make more of it somehow.
Yeah, no, I'm watching this, and I pulled up my my tape filter here because I wanted to show you, Sean. I'm like, yo, there's literal like there's stacks showing up on the bid, and getting taken out below the bid. Like, look at this on 50s. People are just slapping that bid with blocks just to take out some of those levels. They're absolutely crazy at the 57s as well, right here. Look at that. Look at that. All of those. A lot of those are on lit gates, NASDAQ gates. Just people just hitting the bid for tens of thousands of shares. Absolutely wild. Kind of. Yeah, I know. I'm just like, yeah. When can I start taking out the bid like that?
Immediately.
When I'm convicted. I mean, maybe a little bit more buying power, man. You know, you gotta send that up the vine there.
You don't need more vine.
But no, I barely. I gotta exercise more of my buying power. Let's say that. Yeah, no, 24.50s trading now. No real sign of a bid or people kind of stepping up. Any sort of bid that does kind of show up just keeps getting eaten through. It's almost as if like you know, as soon as that liquidity shows up. They're just taking it out because that's the counterparty to sell more if whenever those buyers keep showing up. So that's an interesting action there here on Pfizer. I kind of measured from prior days close what 10% what a 10% down day would look like if we are to go a little bit SSR on this name from prior days close, and it's all the way down at 23.42s, trading at 24.60s as of right now. I don't think we're going to go in a straight line down there if we're going to even get down there. But again, this thing is done over 1 ATR on the day today. So if and when that selling kind of lifts, I'm looking for that bid to come in a little aggressively as of right now. So right now we're getting a little bit of a bid here. Where is VWAP is the question. 24.89, so only about 20 pennies roughly away from that. VWAP sitting at 24.90s, 24.89s right now on Pfizer. So it should be interesting. I know it hasn't really broken a moving average as of yet. It might be starting to break the trend here, though, as the buying kind of starts to step in. But here's the thing. It hasn't broken that VWAP. It hasn't broken a moving average. Then the question becomes, is there more selling left? I have no idea. I'm going to be a little bit patient. I'm going to take a little bit more off here. In and around the 70s to see, or to just to kind of manage that and be like, all right, well, if we're going to catch a bit of a bid now, then I will start to piece off, start to lighten up. The decision making is what matters, right? Like, what am I doing relative to what the price action is showing me? And as of right now, right here, still trading below some of these significant levels, in my opinion, is at 25.23 anchored VWAP, and then 24.88. Is the current day's VWAP, and then opening range low on the 3-minute chart right here is 24.80s. Interesting action from the pre-market was that 25.60 reserve that was happening. We already broke down this bit of shelf at 25.80s as well earlier on in the pre-market. So interesting action there, but kind of looking back at it, if I were to do this, if I were to improve on this, I think my risk here was all the way up to VWAP, all the way up to this prior high. But if I want to tighten it up, that reserve at that 25.60s, I can definitely be risking there for less than a 10 penny risk and really sizing a lot more aggressively for the push down. So, but that'll be more for the review tonight. But yeah, where's the next trade? That's what I'm waiting for. Until then, what's up, Adara?
Nice push here for TSLA, though it did just reject that 320 level to the T. You can see here on this 15-minute chart. Basically, no new news really, except for CEO Elon Musk's XAI apparently now here, according to CNBC, looking to have the $6 billion funding round, which would bring its valuation above $50 billion. They're also apparently planning to stockpile about 100,000 NVIDIA AI chips for their Memphis data center. So TSLA not directly having any catalyst, but Elon Musk continuing to help this company out to the upside, guys.
So I just went short on Tesla right now. We're 50 cents in the money, and I just took this trade on. So, yeah, it came up to that level. We like it. I'm going to take a bid out here. I have to. There it is, man. 50 cents. We just take it. We're short right now. Tesla 318.14. Will it work? I don't know. I'm going to put another bid down here at the low and see if we can grab another dollar on this trade. I mean, let's go. Give it back a little bit there on Tesla. I didn't think we'd get there today. You know, we talked about this. We said, like, you know, where were we going to go? We talked about some different, oh my God, there's a dollar right there in 1 minute on Tesla. Like, we're doing it again here, Obi. Like, I know you have a dollar there on Pfizer, but we just put a dollar. I mean, now it comes right back up. So be careful with what's happening. Yeah. And by the way, like
Palantir's dropping, yeah.
Palantir's dropping, but wow. I mean, we're getting more. I mean,
yo, that's
the math. I mean, I think we're in about 15% left or so of Palantir, as we'll look at that. So we were sitting there. We got that fill at 63.40. But here comes pulling back in. The market's pulling back a little bit here as well. But look what just happened to Tesla. We just celebrated a dollar club, and then it just reloaded us right there. So now we're reloaded, and it's up to 319 right now. So our stop is going to be that break. I mean, we're not going to be too fancy with this. Basically 320.50. We're not taking a lot of shares. This is a counter trade. We said, why would we want to go short on Tesla when it's against the market today, right? So that long came into play. We actually talked about 310 earlier, and unfortunately we did not take it. So if we rewind that tape, I feel like we'll be pretty upset with ourselves there on Tesla. But we're short now, 318 and change. Let's see if it wants to work. It was just up to 319. We should have got some more shares up there, but we didn't. So we're going to try that one more time. Here it comes back in a little bit on a reloaded position for Tesla. Let's take something in the 50s if we can do that. But for right now, looks like 19. It wants to get going. Tesla's going to be a fun ride today, boy. It is already making moves. Up $10 from its low. We're short and see if we can get it. There it is. We'll take another position. We don't have to hit anything to celebrate. We're still in a bunch of positions now. Palantir long, Rivian short, SMCI, by the way. Oh, boy. This is starting to print lower as well. What's up, Adara?
A very exciting morning here. Also, Bloom Energy up about 40%. This one actually was holding news pending yesterday. Then they announced apparently they have this 1 gigawatt fuel cell deal with AAPL to help provide clean energy for AI data centers. So AI-related catalyst, always a good look. We do have Bloom Energy as well getting positive analyst notes after this announcement. Piper Sandler upgrading Bloom Energy to overweight and doubling its price target from $10 to $20. BMO Capital Markets raising its price target as well here. So Bloom Energy with a 22.7% short float could be on watch here, guys.
All right. Thank you, Adair, for that one. More outs there on Pfizer. On Tesla. We just took 317.50s right there for a small little out. Okay. Palantir does bounce off VWAP. I'm going to take an opportunity to get some more out here because the market is definitely not. I mean, it's fine. But we're down. We're down 1.5% here. And so holding all these longs. Oh, there we go. There we go. I got some 77s and 78s out now on Palantir. I actually have another offer, I believe, out there as well. Nah, nothing down there. All right. Now we can wait. I mean, we thought 59 was in play for Palantir. No idea, but we just made basically all-time highs. Its all-time high in the past was, what was today's high? 63.50. It's closing 63.39. So there it is, man. Congratulations. Palantir today, new ATH. For that play. Here comes Tesla. Come on, let's go, man. Break it down. We just get in. Look at that fill that we got up there, Obi. Yep. On that, like, unbelievable. Sometimes you're just sitting there and it's like, okay, I'll take it. And right there, we just got short more up there, Obi. That was a great.
Talked about yesterday, man.
That was 319s we just got. We got 318.80s, my guy. So take out some more shares. If we get there, we go. Take out some more shares. Like sometimes you don't want to look at, again, take a sentence from Neil there, gift horse in the mouth. Like that just fell right into my lap right there.
I have that one right here. Boom.
All right. Well, hey, I'm going to start taking some more out, man. I mean, hey, what's up, Neil? We are waiting for, there it is, 318. All right, dude. I'm just going to let this one roll. I mean, this could be a monster trade if this gets to the downside here. Only giving ourselves, the reason why I'm getting some out now is because it's not really giving me the true ATR here because, sorry, not ATR. If I'm going to stop out at 320, then I need to make, like right now we're short at 319, so we need to make $1. So that's why I'm starting to get something out here and then holding for more because we do know that this does have, oh boy, Obi, a chance to do exactly what it's doing.
That's solid. I mean, we talked about this yesterday. You sit at prices that you like and you kind of, you use them as alerts, you use them as entries, whatever you want to use them as. But sometimes if it's a good price, it'll do exactly that. It comes in and gets you and then it's like, you know what? We're not going to go that way anymore.
SMCI.
Beautiful. Yeah,
SMCI is a similar example.
Like, how do you make wicks?
Remember what we said before. I mean, I wrote down here on the sticky note 1850. So where we're short on SMCI is 1850.
Yeah.
We made the mistake yesterday on Tesla not sitting at 330. And then we looked back and it was $12 in the money. So today we have them, and that's all. It makes me feel good about that. So, all right. Well, wow. What is Tesla doing? It just went to 317.30 there, really printing us out. Like my net was like, brah. All right, there it is. Yes, sir. Let's go, Obi. What up, Joe? Man, I might not look like this guy does, but hopefully we're putting on some professional trades right now, Joe. It's not one, it's not two, it's $3 in the money as Tesla's coming back into 316 and change right there. So, I mean, we're having a good time over here, Ob.
Yes,
and I know you are. And there it is.
I'm out of my trade.
This has been a banner week of trading here on the show. I mean, glad to be doing this with everybody. Wow, Obi. We're having a good time, man. So keep the good times rolling here. Rivian still in the money. SMCI, Crank City, Tesla. I mean, we just got that fill at 316.40s there. Yeah. Crazy fill there. Palantir, blackout up to the upside. I mean, there's a lot of things happening right now in this market. It doesn't, just to your point, you never know what you're going to be doing on a daily basis. So come in, trade your game plan.
Beautiful thing about trading.
It is.
You never know what's going to fall into your lap.
It's one of those things where you have a love-hate relationship with trading and all that kind of stuff. But mine is basically all love. So,
yeah. No,
sometimes
I mean, I'm sure I don't have to say this to you, but there comes a time where you fall in love with the market. And,
Yeah, there comes a time for that. I mean, I for me, I feel like the minute I sat down in front of a level 2, that was the end of that. So I remember my father was like, oh my God, SMCI, look at SMCI right now. All right, numbers with Adara. SMCI is cranking to the downside. Ciao, SMCI. Huge move rate on this one. Oh boy, Obi, what exactly are we even doing here? Let's go over to Adara and get these numbers.
Business inventories coming in lower than expected here for September. So business inventories month over month, 0.1%. Consensus here was 0.2%. Previous print of 0.3%. So we did have a drop here on a month over month base, or I guess lower than expected here for the previous print, and then also for the consensus. Then retail inventories ex auto here for September actually higher than expected, 0.2%, above the consensus of 0.1% and the previous print of 0.1%. So higher than expected retail inventories, lower than expected business inventories. We do have the Qs here continuing to push lower. We have the NASDAQ as of right now down 1.5%. NVIDIA, I saw earlier today, apparently trading near week lows. It's definitely been a bit of a weaker day for some of these names, but NVIDIA, of course, on watch next week with their earnings. We also have a lot of companies on watch with regards to these 13F filings. ARM pushing lower. DPZ was on watch earlier, getting bought by Warren Buffett, though they gave up a lot of that move. But some other tickers on watch include the aforementioned NVIDIA. We have some reports here from CNBC that Elon Musk's XAI is looking to seek up to $6 billion through a new funding round. Apparently, they're going to use this money to buy 100,000 H100s. So looking here for some NVIDIA chips. Then we have Alibaba, BABA. This one was up about 3% pre-market, now down about 3%. They did beat here for sales and some nice increases here on a year-over-year basis. So BABA on watch. More Chinese ADR earnings next week, guys.
Thank you. So more continuation on that right there. Market's still coming into the downside, 20,700 here on the NASDAQ. And yeah, we were kind of attempting to hold that 6,000 in the morning session yesterday. Didn't quite make it, and we're taking a bit of a continued selling here on the ES as well. So I got out of that Pfizer. I was like, all right, well, VWAP. I did add a little bit more at that VWAP to be like, all right, well, if this kind of continues to sell off of VWAP, I'm going to use that as a bit of a level to kind of get a little more aggressive. 25s might be the place. Stopped out right above on top of that VWAP, being like, all right, well, if you're going to catch a bid, the reason I was in the trade was that the sellers were definitely overwhelming right off of the open, and I want to get a piece of that action right there. When will it stop? I have no idea, but it starts to show us here off the bounce off of 24. What's the low day right now? The low day is 24.48 is the lowest print I have on the day there. And yeah, no, kind of showing us that the bid is stepping back in. I don't necessarily want to be in that trade right now. Yeah, so sometimes that's all it is, right? It's like you don't need 100 different trades. You just need that one good trade. Great book. Yeah, no, 25 is coming right back in off of that swipe into the bid right off the open. So where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking for here. I know that, again, Adara pointed out that Bloom Energy was halted midday yesterday, and with a bit of AI news, doing some ridiculous relative volume off of the open there, right here. Open back up at 9:30, doing 2 to 5 times its relative volume, kind of pushing up, holds that 18 level. So I'm going to look back at it and see if 18, in and around 18, can we get some prior levels here. So I have no idea. This is the first time I'm looking at this chart, so let's do it together right here. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Look at that. Would you take a look at it?
I mean, I would.
Prior resistance turns support off
of
of that gap up. So yeah, exactly. Just take a look at it, you know. Oh boy.
When Neil comes back, he's gonna have no idea.
Yeah,
just like I had no idea either.
Yeah.
And,
that 18.
I'll be like, Neil, just take a look at that.
Yeah. Would you look at it?
Look at that.
Just look at it.
Would you look at that chart right there?
Yeah. Pull up the chart. The first thing you got to do when you pull up the chart is you just got to take a look at it.
I mean,
You know?
I mean, can you look at this right here on SMC?
Oh boy,
Look
look
at
at
that.
the wick lows.
Can you look
Oh
at
boy.
that? Adara?
What's up, Adara?
We do have a lot of names moving, guys. I apologize. There's so much to take a look at, including CCJ. This is the 15-minute chart. Look at this push up here with this volume candle. Not saying any news here. It does have a 4% short float, but there is some news in the uranium space. URA getting a bit of a pump here as well. Basically, this company, Standard Uranium, apparently reported some high-grade uranium assays from one of its projects. So it looks like a uranium discovery, sending all of these uranium names to the upside. Generally, if there's any kind of catalyst in the space, they do all tend to move in tandem regardless of which company is impacted, guys.
All right, so we can have a look at SMR and all these names. Rivian right now, a nice little move down as well. Rivian coming back in. We just take some 1990s there. We did get 990, sorry. We took out some VWAP there. It did get above. We took some out at the 50 period, but we're still very much in this name and really like it. So we'll wait for that short to come through again. We still are in the short here with Tesla, but we haven't been able to get that bid yet. So that's something that we're waiting for here. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, we just got it. So just as soon as I say that, 317.50, 75s there, we just got on a little bit of a dip down. So yeah, it's not like the most aggressive play here for Tesla. If anything, it's really strong. So, like I said, we looked that gift horse in the mouth and took it out and been taking it. There we go. I was going to say we're not reloading this until we get much closer to 20s. So there is a reload right there. So we'll now put a bid downside and get some more out. But that was a good reload up there. 319. I'll give you the exact price we got there. 319 or. Yeah, 319.50. So here it goes. It's going to break back upside right now. I'm going to take some more out if we are able to dip down in. This is super strong, Tesla. Like, we knew that we were sort of dancing with the devil here by shorting this in the first place. So we've been lucky to get out by basically the skin of our teeth here. So for right now, we'll get out some more bids if it goes, but this is looking strong and probably taking it out. So I'm hands off on this right now. There it goes. I'm not averaging in. This is super strong. Great trade on Tesla early, but now we'll stop it. We'll stop averaging in. We have our outs, and it doesn't look like we're going to get them because there it goes, breaking through 320. So again, if you play the same way every time, watch the market, watch what's hot, and go with that, man. I mean, there it goes, right to the upside. So we'll slap a fail on the last piece of it. I like the idea on Tesla there, going short in front of 320, but the minute it breaks, we gave it a little bit of room there, and then it pops forward. So Tesla, bye-bye. Good while it lasted, and then not great at the end. But that last fill was fine for us. That was about $1 on that last piece. Sucks, but at the end of the day, you sort of got that feeling there about TSLA. I did want to look at SMR to see it's going to the downside there. CCJ, I guess, was the one that was moving up on that.
Yeah,
SMR still down at 5%. Yuck. Palantir still 50 cents, and there goes Tesla. Now it's fading off of that level, but oh well, what can you do? Not in it right now. So there goes Tesla back in. Too bad.
This selling kind of coming back in here underneath that 25 on Pfizer. I'm kind of watching it. I was like, oh, do I get in risking just above that 25?
Boo Tesla.
Not yet. We're still holding that VWAP. We're trading above. Technically, we are trading above VWAP 24.88, but it's an area. It's not necessarily a price. What's going on? Oh, no. Is that for everything?
That's the high.
I mean, that's fine. Just get out.
No. Would you look at that? It's not fine. It's not fine. That's the high of the day I made on Tesla. And then the thing drops like a freaking rock, dude.
Fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they.
This is very, very appropriate. That was. Would you look at that? I mean, that's just what it is right there. But that's That's tough right there for your boy, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. There's the dropped out 250
Spider.
drop. Okay. All right, let's keep on going. All right, Rivian, on the other hand, you know, trade the garbage. Tuss is at 317. What?
Oh boy.
In the oh boy is right. All right. Oh boy. It is.
Yeah, you just got.
It is.
I mean, you're looking for a
Please
spot to get back
I need
in, right?
consolidation right now. Consolidation? No, that's charts.
Console.
I need to be consoled. Consoled. Right
Consolidation. You're looking for that consolidation. Wow, 317 is coming in now. Oh,
chart on.
Yeah, I mean, it licked the high. Here's the thing about Tesla, man. It loves to lick the range highs and lows. Like lick grabs.
We took advantage of it when it was there. We took advantage of it when it was there.
Like you're printing so many wicks.
And then that happened.
Yeah.
You know, and that's trading, right? I mean, we're at the end of the day, we're just kind of having fun, but you know, we are actually trying to make money here. So that's tough. But again, it goes to 320. Our stop was where our stop was, and you can't stay in this game for this long, basically, and for long as you have, and as long as everybody, Sharif, Joe, everybody, like if you don't have stops and stuff like that into your stock, then you're gonna get waxed. And
stops. What are those?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. By the way, about you being the next one there, Obi. I don't know. I mean,
whoa.
No, you're already here.
I'm here already.
And plus,
what do you mean?
now it's at 316s. So yeah. Anyways, bad stop placement at the end of the day, but we were looking at that 320, it broke it, and that was that. And I mean, looking at the 5-minute chart, I guess, you know, that wick was 321 there. We could have really seen that again. This is all kind of in hindsight. Wow, I cannot believe where Tesla is right now, though. Yeah, not good. Not really feeling that trade right there for myself. So, yeah, overall, we'll get it back, but for right now, we need some salt for these wounds. So, all right, SMCI though, SMCI is like saying, hey, my guy, you're still who you are, dude. And so, thank you, SMCI. Thank you for saying that. That means a lot. But at the end of the day, SMCI is falling down in. Look what Rivian's doing as well. The net has been affected. Let's not get that too twisted there. But at the end of the day, you still got to do what you're doing, and we'll still continue to trade what we're trading. And there goes Rivian right to the bottom, so we'll take some pieces out right there. We've got SMCI at the bottom right now. Let's take a piece out if we can get that. And we're humming with Palantir. So, you know, everything all in all is good, and you know, we'll live to see another day. But that was just an out there that I wish we didn't have on Tesla, but we do, and it is what it is. So there it goes right back into the 50 period. That's probably a buy. So now we have to refocus here and really rethink about what we're doing. So, you know, maybe now there's a dip buy opportunity into VWAP, but I'm going to slow that roll down as the NASDAQ is now down 2%. It's a good thing that we were raising some cash, right? I mean, I looked at myself the other day and was like, what have I done selling Google at 180.5? Right? Well, now it's $7 down, and we have another opportunity to reload it if we like that position again. Yeah. Right? So that's why we keep saying that you want to raise capital, you want to raise some cash, you want to be liquid when there's buying opportunities in there, right? Joe talks about it all the time. I mean, he's going to be on it in a little bit. Raising that cash, you know, getting that sort of source of income every week by writing those calls and getting involved or whatever his strategies are.
Sell those calls.
Sell those calls. And it's just coming into play. You got to have a strategy. And if you don't execute it, then you're going to be lost, right? So that's what we're doing here every day, trying to come up with some different plays, some different ideas, and making that cash. So hopefully we'll be able to continue with doing that. SMCI, I'm going to take some out right here.
Nice trades there. Yeah, no, a few people in the chat asking where my trades are. Well, the thing is, I'm looking for them. I had a trade right off of the open, if you guys can see right here. Pfizer, again, I am satisfied with my decision making here. Off of the open there, took a quick short for a continuation trade. And this thing did, again, you guys want to see what that ATR on Pfizer is. Average true range on Pfizer is 59 pennies. Getting in off of that open right there. This thing does almost I think it does almost 2 times ATR right here. So from the opening price to the day low, it does about $1.17. So yeah, definitely doing almost 200% ATR to the downside and then catching a bit of a bid. Yeah, I think that's definitely pretty much. All I really need to focus on today is, like we talk about, that having that one trade that kind of makes your day right here. And then I'm pretty sure Pfizer was definitely one of them right off of the open there. So yeah, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna look for the next trade. If I see something then I will take it. And I'm sure you guys see multiple different things here, but relative to my playbook, I think I like to wait. I like to be a little patient, to wait for things to fall into my lap. Like today, my notes, I guess, or whatever, were pretty bleak. I had one real kind of idea on a name, and I wasn't really too sure about that one either. I gave it like a C+ to B-, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to put risk on for this. But Pfizer definitely was at least a B+ for that continuation trade off of that catalyst that came out on prior day, going into the end of the day. So you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to be waiting for that next trade. And a lot of things are selling off of the open there as well. You can see the futures coming into the downside here. So I'm just going to stay patient and wait to see if that selling kind of steps off. I'm looking for trades, but I'm not seeing any. And sometimes, you know what? You just have to sit there and wait till something falls into your lap. And I guess what Trixie Hobbitry asking about, what about BE? BE, yeah, I guess that was the one that was halted. I think again, looking back at it, I was like, that 18 level might have been nice to deal with. It's all the way up at 20s. I could have it on watch and look for opportunities here, but I think the trade kind of is already done off of that 18 hold. If I had it on watch coming into that 18 off of that 20, then maybe I would have taken an execution depending on what we see happening at that 18 on the tape. Something else I'm watching right now as well is that CCJ. That nuclear news or whatever it is, intraday catalyst. We talked about this yesterday, Sean. There's a lot of tickers that are getting intraday catalysts. We saw Softy doing that, and we saw a bunch of biotechs as well. And now we're having this CCJ Chemical Corporation getting a strong bid off of that intraday news right coming in the first hour of the day. So I'm going to be waiting to see if this thing gives me any opportunities. But other than that, I'm not seeing anything else. The reason to be in this Pfizer short is pretty much gone for the most part as of right now. As we consolidate between that 25 and VWAP, I think that if that 25 breaks, we could see a little bit of pressure to the upside. And if we don't, then maybe there is a trade there. But I'm not really seeing too much else here. So let me know in the chat what tickers you guys are looking at. What are some of the trades you've been in? I know that Tesla's been nice off of the open. We know that Sean has been in Palantir and Rivian and SMCI. All of those trades working out quite well there. And yeah, that Palantir bid off of the open, I had it up right here on my screen. I was watching it, and that thing blew through for some fresh highs there as well. So I missed that one there. So that's another thing. Sure, there's going to be trades that work in my playbook, but I'm not going to be there looking at them at the right times for me to execute effectively. So I have to let that one go and look for the next trade. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Disney is saying, Rupesh. So let's take a quick look at Disney. I know I was involved with the House of Mouse yesterday, but today, bit of a recovery. So I was actually looking for that continuation through that prior day's low at that 108. Guess what happens coming off of the open? Straight bid going all the way back to 112s and 112 halves. So maybe we find those sellers stepping right back in and around those 14s and 13s today. As of right now, we've started to slow down, but still holding above that VWAP, above prior day's anchored. Now, prior day's anchored is anchored to that earnings. So that's that earnings anchored on day 2. We're trading well above that, holding the intraday. I don't know if I want to short this just yet. But yeah, no, those are some of the things that I'm watching here. I'm not really looking at anything else. I know people are talking about DJT. I'm looking at that as well here. The Funware a little bit on the opposite direction there, coming into the downside, but DJT is definitely strong to the upside off of the open there, holding its VWAP as well, but pretty much sideways. When you look back at it and see that yesterday we had some strong selling coming in just under that $30 level, went all the way to 26s, and today just a bit of an inside day so far, but nice little pop off of the open nonetheless. All right, so let's see if Pfizer can get past this 25. Are we going to make a decision? That's what I'm waiting for here. Nothing too crazy. Looking distinctly different from what was happening off of the open. Off of the open, the bids were just getting smashed. Anybody and everybody that was showing up with multiple lots on the bid was being used as liquidity by the sellers and just getting punched into. And we saw that happening. People punching below the bid into some of those levels as well. So very aggressive selling off of the open, and that no longer is happening here as it's found a little bit of balance, a little bit of equilibrium in and around that 25. So I'm going to be waiting to see if we make a decision off this 25. CLSK to the downside as well. I'm seeing that's interesting. Clean Spark. So a lot of these Bitcoin names, bit of a pullback. IBIT coming back into that $50 level as well. Mara trading at 20s, and MSTR trading at 328.5. So looking very similar to what this market is doing right now, selling off to the downside. I don't have too many shorts on, but that's a banger short on that SMC. I know you had that Rivian as well. Again, a catalyst day 2 move on Rivian. So
we did have Tesla.
Nice.
We have a new position anyways. We have SMR in the building right now, but it's important that we all scan that QR code below right there because we get a lot of questions about how Trade the Pool works. Here's a breakdown. Many people ask about the evaluation and what's involved. You choose the evaluation according to the account size that you like to manage, from $20,000 to $260,000 in buying power. Once you meet the profit target, you become a funded trader and start to trade with Trade the Pool's capital. What about shorting penny stocks? You can trade any of the 12,000 symbols with no hard-to-borrow fees. And you guys are trading real shares, not CFDs. And yes, they're global, welcoming traders from all over the world. Want to be a part of the trading revolution? Visit tradethepool.com and see how they're changing the game. Check that QR code right there and be involved with Trade the Pool. Okay, then. We took some more out there at 63 on Palantir. So right now we have less than 10% left of this position on PLTR. Yes, it was a pretty good one. Happy with the way it's performed here today. So we're almost out. We got some great opportunities above 63 today. That was all-time high, 63.30. Then we got an out basically at all-time highs of 63.45. We made that. So that was a good take right there for PLTR. And could you look at that on SMCI? We were sitting there bidding again, 17.70. That comes in and we get that fill there as well. So that's 80 cents on an $18 name. We also took on this one, we got down at 9.70. So we'll take 40 cents on a $10 name. So some good trades there today. But Tesla, we made the high of the day. And now it's down $7. So good little call there. Not great execution. Well, execution's fine. We talked about it. All right, let's go over to Adara at the big screen.
Lots of weakness here in the Russell 2000 to kick off this small cap recap. These are all 15-minute candles. They were all, as you can see here, sharply red to the downside. We just had a bottoming tail candle a little bit here around that $230 level. And then this next candle trying to take this out. We were trading near 240s on Wednesday. Now we are, like I said, below 230. So quite the move to the downside for that Russell 2000. Lots of small caps to talk about, including Fuel Cell Energy, FCEL. This one's run in the past up about 24% right now with a 21.5% short float. They've announced this global restructuring plan to basically help focus their core technologies on distributed power generation. So bit of a restructuring move, sending FCEL to the upside. ATAI, this one is about an 8% short float. They did announce their earnings. These are actually not super impressive earnings. They did have in-line losses per share and a decrease in sales on a year-over-year basis by more than double. But yeah, ATAI pushing higher here, ATAI Life Sciences. Last but not least, Simple Limited. That's SPPL. This one's run in the past, announcing this $400,000 contract with regards to supplying autonomous cleaning robots. So robotics play SPPL with a float of about 5 million shares, guys. Back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, again, not a revenge trade, but it's going to be revenge money-wise. Hopefully we can get this going up to the upside. So let's go to the upside right now on, you stopped, you rascal, to the upside there. You rascally wabbit. All right, here goes Tesla. Hopefully, down the side. Oh, man. All right, so we get one fill up there at 313.50 off this reload. We're long right now at 312.95s. So this could fall back in here for Tesla. I mean, we talked about how violent this was or has been today. Let's find another level. Like there's 312. That's the 50-period moving average. We don't want to mess too much around with this. That's crazy that happened up there. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So we're going to have to trade off of that 312 right now. So a little bit of, I mean, I hope I don't get stopped out and get out too much too early here on Tesla. Maybe we should give this down into this area, but Man, the market is just not healthy right here, my guy. We're down 2% right now. Like, are these shorts really something that we should be looking at, right? Or these longs something that we should be looking at in this market? The answer is clearly no. Right now, we don't have many shares here on SMR, but it is looking like it wants to break that 23. We thought on that nuclear news, URA was starting to go back up to the upside on the China nuclear news that we had from Madero. So we went over to a nuclear name and thought, why isn't this one going nuclear? But it's the ETF right now that's starting to go. URA, and I think there's UR, is it there is another one that's going, but anyways, this is the one that I like right now. So, all right, Tesla's trying to get back upside. We did not buy the 312s down there. We're already long in this name, so if it's going to work, let's let it work a little bit. I'm not going to get out right away. We don't have a huge position. I feel like down into here is something, but then I'm just picking at straws, trying to figure this all out. So we'll try to hold for a little bit more now, pack up to the upside. So there we go. We're 50 cents in the money. We'll just took a piece out. Let me take another piece out here just in case. So there's another piece out at 50s, and we'll get one at 60 if we can, and take 65, 70 cents. Here we go. And yes. All right. So happy, joy. Now back in the money on Tesla off that dip. So we do have an offer halfway through up to 314 if we can get that. The reason why I say halfway is because VWAP would be pretty sweet if we can get that as well. So VWAP is 315 now on Tesla. Back in the money $1. I'm going to take another piece out because I want to. They're at 85. So there's another piece out. Thank you, Tesla. We got it back there. And that's where it goes, man. You talked about it. Like, Neil will put on 10, 15 symbols by now. And sometimes, like, even for me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 symbols right now. You've had the one and just told us why. And I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about your own trading style, doing what you're doing. And I mean, for right there, Tesla fell right into our lap. So we took it and we said, thank you very much. Back down there at those levels. You looked at me and was like, oh, you're taking Tesla long. And I'm like, yeah, it's at the 200 period. I like the trade. Yeah. So we take the trade, right? I mean, and it's printing now. So good trade there for us. Bad trade on SMR. Let's see if this one wants to work. But a break of 23 and we're gone, man. This has tried to hold it. It just hasn't worked out. So SMR, watch out for a breakthrough, $23 right now. And let's see if Tesla can get back going to the upside.
Yeah, no, Pfizer is catching a bit off of that 25, so definitely holding that VWAP as well. Dips into VWAP were bought there, and then some size at 25 is going in for the push. But guess what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for that anchored from yesterday, guys. So again, reference anchor is dropped in at that prior day's news. So right here, so right, we see that volume come in aggressively off of that news. I guess some dude on some sort of board is anti-vax.
$2 in the money,
and it's pushing, it's selling off lower on that, and yeah, no, catching a bit of a bid. But look at where that anchor shows up.
Some guys posting 16. On what? What do you? The board. HHS.
Yeah.
Robert FK.
Yeah. So here comes that anchored right there. So we accelerated up into that anchored. On PFE. So let me actually pull up the book for you guys so we can take a look at it together here. Put on that size filter as well. So yeah, we're coming right into that anchored VWAP area, about a 50% retracement of this move. So now we're only down about 1 ATR roughly off of the open. So let's see if that selling kind of comes in and around this level here, and if it does, that's cool. If it doesn't, that's fine as well. I'm gonna be patiently waiting for that to potentially come in. Now, the selling started prior day, and it continued today as well. So a little bit of a bid, kind of healthy action in my opinion, but let's see whether or not that comes in. 113's testing on Disney. So yesterday's high was 114.80. Today is earnings day 2, and about 200 lots sitting on top of that Disney right now. I'm gonna be patient. There's that Disney chart right here. There's that 200 lots sitting on Disney. Let's see if that gets taken out. Again, 14 is gonna be interesting if and when that comes in on Disney. What's up, Adara?
We have lots of small caps running around this morning. UEC, Iranian play, that one's on watch here. We also have our AREN, Arena. This was one that was on the watch list with earnings, but we also have the ticker for this is STI. The company is called Solidian Technology. This one announcing yesterday it's allocating some of its excess cash reserves to Bitcoin. So apparently STI here at this Bitcoin investment and a 41.7% short float. This one is a penny stock here with a float of 26.7 million shares, relatively small float for a penny stock, and an almost 42% short float, guys.
Breaks lower, so we, oh man, like we're going back and forth here with some of these trades. SMR breaks 23, it's gone. We'll see you later. But you know what, man? We just took $2. We just got 315 twice right there. That's VWAP. We said that we were going to try to hold for VWAP. We now have half left. So we've done real good, man, getting out at the appropriate spot, taking basically 15% up here near VWAP is how much we've gotten out. So the other plays, we got about about 30% or so as we bounced around 314 a little bit. We were really happy with that one. Now we take out VWAP and see how high we can fly now. I was just at 315.40s. Of course, it goes to 315.30s. Now we'll see if we can get this fill upside now as Tesla's back in the money $2 now. So, you know, we will be a little bit like upset about what we missed on the way down, obviously. But, you know, you just put it back on and you be happy with it. So right there, we're going to get another piece out right now at 315 because it's bouncing around VWAP. So like I said, we have about half out. Let's see if we can get, it's starting to drop it. I'm going to put an offer at 60. Okay, we took some out at 60s there. We're trying to get another 10% at 315. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what we're doing. We took out some more at 314.60. Again, could it bounce off of VWAP? I mean, that's clears to be what it's doing. That's now a couple times in a row. We've hit this level and then come right back in. So yeah, we are a little bit nervous about that. I do not like this hold now. Like now, I think if we break back down below, almost where we're in, we could get out. You never. Oh, now I'm trying to follow my own playbook at the same time as try to be a little more liberal with this position. But like we hit VWAP a couple times, bounced its head off of it, and could not break it. It even tried to break it right there and got as high as 30s. We talked about that. So there's another out for me. So I took another out there at 30s myself right here for, it's still $1.40 in the money. Let's not forget about that. But if it comes back up, we'll take one more. Then we can see if it wants to go, but we'll probably only have about 30% left. So let's hold that for, as we say, this would be for the dream, actually. Like if this comes back up to 318, 319, that's fantastic. And I do think there's capabilities for that right there. SMCI is at the lows of the day. You can't do anything other than put right down on the sticky note 1850, and that's exactly what we have right there, so we're pretty happy with that one. Palantir, we've talked about getting light on it, but it has made its way all the way back up here, so I believe this is a fade. If a fade, not an out, so I'm going to take an out right there. There we go. We'll take a 95 out on that one for Palantir. Bring it back in. I know this went against us. We didn't have that many shares there. We were waiting very patiently with Tesla. I didn't want to load this one back up, but it does drop into 62 and then up to 63. So $1 move higher, we should be taking something out there on Palantir. Embarrassing we don't have the reload, but this is not embarrassing.
Awesome.
Let's go. We get that 315. There it goes, Obi. Yes.
Boom.
Okay, we're still in
Nice
this one.
catch,
There it goes to the upside. Okay. $3 in the money on that one. We were crying a river at the top there, missing that trade. But you stay with it, man. We're hosting the show. We're putting on some bangers. What's up, Brenda? All right, let's go back over to the desk and see what Adair's up to.
Bitcoin at a really fascinating level here. What a week it's been. We made new all-time highs here around that 93,500 area a couple days ago, but now we're seeing here a bit of a topping tail candle. So we got as high here as yesterday's opening high, that 90.5 level. As of right now, trading here around 88,000. But I think if we break below that 87.5, yesterday's low, could be a bit of an interesting level here for that BTC, because there's not really a lot of support the way that we ran up. There's not a lot of areas in this chart where we can think of potential support and resistance. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see after that push up, now things may be getting a little bit stagnant. We'll have to wait and see what becomes of this crypto trade. Of course, the crypto stocks on watch here as well. MSCR, COIN, HUT. We also have next week here, earnings start off on Monday morning with BitDeer and BitDigital, so BTBT and BTDR. So crypto trade could get spicy even right from the opening on Monday. Bitcoin here around 88,000, down about 1%. Ethereum down about 2% here, trying to hold on to that 3,000 level as we speak. Solana, BNB, Dogecoin down, but XRP up nicely here for its second day in a row. Yesterday, other crypto names were selling off, but XRP pushing higher. Today, that trend continues, and it's joined by Tron and Cardano to the upside. Cardano up almost 19%, guys.
That crypto watch. Yeah, definitely some crypto names moving around here. I'm kind of watching this Pfizer. I was patiently waiting for it to come back into a level where I'm looking for potential sellers, and maybe some blocks come in that I like, but I don't know for sure just yet. It hasn't necessarily broken trend, but I did like getting involved. I do want to get in a lot more here if it continues to the downside. You can see what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at that anchor, and I'm looking at VWAP as well. We caught a nice little hold on that VWAP in that 2480s-ish area when it was there, and now we're kind of consolidating underneath this anchored as of right now. So I'm curious to know whether or not that acts as resistance, or do we blast through and it doesn't mean anything? I have no idea, but I did observe some selling coming in. We did break this interim trend as well. I'm looking at a 1-minute chart. Again, not the best. I usually like the 3 minutes. Right here, you can see that it is well within trend. So I got to stay a little bit patient for this to come in. If we're going to continue to the upside, that's perfectly fine. I'm more than willing to get out and reassess on this trade here. Market maybe a little bit of a bounce, but we still have about 11 minutes for this 15-minute candle to print. So I'll stay patient for that one to see how that one kind of comes in. Here, Disney taking a bit of a pullback off of that 113, went to 113 halves. Oh boy. That selling coming in a little bit around the area where we were looking at selling yesterday, right? That 313 to 314 is that earnings day one high on Disney. I think 114.80 was that specific high, but we're catching a bit of a churn, a slowdown of that morning momentum there. We got that aggressive bid that came in right off of the open, 109s to 112s. Oh boy. That mouse was definitely on the run there, and 113 halves back down into VWAP, now 112 halves on Disney. So a nice little point, a little bit lower. Okay, so we cover a little bit there on what I guess was a moving average that we claimed, but again, I have no idea whether we're going to hold that moving average. I'm looking to transact at certain prices there. 25s might be nice, about 400 lots there on 25s, and smashes right through. Look at that. So sellers, are you there? It's showing us that there was size on the bid at 25s, and it smashed through that size right there all at once. I can show you guys how that size even got filled right here. Boom. So that's on Disney. On here, so the 25s. Let's go look for buddies that filled that 25. Look at these 99s, 25s. Look at that. 12,000 shares on a NASDAQ gave. 3,000, 2.5, another 1.5, another 3,000 on an ARCA. So it's like, all right, well, they're using lit gates just to remove that liquidity as soon as it shows up on that 25. I like that. That's in direction of my bias, and I'm looking for more of that action. Look at that. Size showing up at 96s now on an Edge X. So they were sitting at 25s. Now there's size sitting at 26 or 96s. So I don't know. I don't know what it all means, but when it all comes together, it might give you a little bit of direction as to what might be going on there. So size kind of stepping down maybe and getting filled as well off of that 25. Oh boy, CCJ, is it time for a reversion? I was watching this one, but I kind of missed it there as that selling kind of comes in. Oh boy, look at that, Sean. I could have definitely been in a little bit earlier on that one. 56.44s is the high a day. We're trading at 55.40s, so yeesh. I don't know if I want to give it that kind of risk. I definitely had to be there a little bit earlier for that risk to make sense. Sure, I can do a little bit of chasing. Here comes VWAP on Pfizer there. What's that VWAP price? 24.90s. All right, so
good reload there.
I like that one. Yeah, again,
we have $1 in the money on SMCI as well.
Let's go.
Great reload
Nice.
for you. I was not able to get the reload. Look at SMCI chart here, just absolutely
Beautiful.
ranking to the downside. And then we're able to take advantage of Tesla up here at 317 as well. But you could take advantage of scanning that QR code right now and getting involved with eSignal. I mean, eSignal, trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to your trading to an elite experience with the best charting. You can see how much Obi and I use and rely on charting, and I feel like this is the #1 charting platform available. This is eSignal. Connects with 50+ brokers, infinite data, instant trading charts that honestly are so reliable. You can 15-second chart, tick charts, tick replays, anything you're looking for, back testing, scanning, real-time data. It's all you need. It's in one place. It's eSignal. I mean, and
got what you need.
Oh, it's got what you need. Oh, wait a minute. We got no singing. We don't need to.
I'm sorry.
Scare people away. But at the end of the day here, it does have what you need, and it's eSignal. Make sure you do scan that QR code below there. And as I'd mentioned before, you know, we're going to be working with eSignal to try to produce something that's going to be hopefully a tool that we can all use to trade better, not harder. So that's what we're going to do right now. Look at Tesla. Oh boy, dude, this is $4 right now in the money. So there goes Tesla. Nice move to the upside again. Now it's $3.50 in the money. We better take a piece out here. We're waiting at 3. Yeah, it feels like that. There it is. Yes, sir. 316.50. Here we go again. It's Tesla. It's trying to go higher. We said it was going to be a nice trade if we got this up at 318, 317. Adair's got something for us.
I do. So here is, I guess, the story on uranium. I did bring up earlier, I was seeing something, it was a company-specific catalyst. Sometimes those happen to bring the entire sector up, but it looks like this move has to do with a report that Russia is looking to impose or has imposed temporary restrictions on exporting enriched uranium to the U.S. So again, this is a report here, but uranium name's getting a bit of a push up off of that. Again, reports that Russia has imposed some temporary restrictions regarding exporting this enriched uranium to the USA, guys. We also have comments coming through from Feds Collins. Notably here, Feds Collins deciding not to take a December easing off the table. So Feds Collins open to cutting rates there in December, saying that there's not any new evidence of inflation pressures, but they don't see a big urgency to lower rates. So interesting mixed notes there. Basically, the key point, though, is that Feds Collins apparently interested potentially in another rate cut at our next FOMC meeting, guys.
I was just telling Obi, like, this is just, look, it's a great trade. SMC has it. We're $6 in the money on all these positions combined, and nothing's losing. Like, Palantir's 55 cents in the money and going, bang, Palantir, let's go, man. A friend of mine, that is for sure. PLTR, nice move to the high side right now. Let's just offer enter on that bad boy. Take a piece out on that as we continue to go higher. But there you go. Hey, what's up, Rob? But it was Tesla right now. $4 on Tesla, $5 on Tesla, $1 on SMCI, 30 cents on Rivian, 50 cents on Palantir, and oh boy, are we doing it today one more time for everybody. So again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I don't even know how many people are liking this, but for a Friday, let me see how many people we even have on board right now. Where's my YouTube? There it is right here. Okay, so I can't, unfortunately, bring this thing down. Yo, what's up, Sharif? All right, here it is right here. We have over 7,000 watching and only 1 like?
What? That can't be right.
That's because I was the first like today.
Oh, okay. You have to refresh that.
Yeah, I got to refresh that. But when I refresh it, it's going to have an ad. No, get this ad. Get out of there. What is that? Get out of here. Not that wise. Right there, 878.
Oh, come on.
Come on, man. I mean, 7,000. We got to get these numbers going. I mean, I don't know. Obi's talked about his style. We've given you many, many trades today. The SMCI one is an absolute banger. What is even happening with Palantir right now? Palantir is getting jacked up. Nice move to the upside right now. It's 63.25, 75 cents in the money now on Palantir as that name keeps on running and putting a smile on your guys' face one more time. And I hope it's putting a smile on your face. Please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe. Look, don't do it for us, man. We have no idea what we're doing. Let's do it for Adara, who's over there at the desk, at the screen. So let's go over there to Adara. When we come back, let's see those likes north of 1,000.
2,000. Already past 1,000.
Hey guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Doesn't seem like the NASDAQ is liking things very much, though. Here we have the Qs sharply underperforming the S&P 500 from everything I'm seeing. You can really see that reflected in the tech side. I am not seeing really any sharply green moves except for PLTR here announcing that they're going to be switching from the NYSE to the NASDAQ. Other than that, though, this technology services sector is bright red. Electronic technology not faring much better here. NVDA down almost 3%, and they do report their earnings next week, so keep an eye on this name. In terms of relative strength, finance not looking too bad here. JPM, BAC, and Wells Fargo all to the upside. Consumer non-durables is a really interesting sector because we have a mixed performance. There's lots of green, but there's also a lot of these darker red names, including a lot of these soda or energy drink brands. This could be potentially an antipathy play with regards to what's happening here with RFK Jr., who is apparently looking to make America healthy again as Donald Trump announces his appointment to the Department of HHS. Health technology sector names also moving to the downside in response to that. Eli Lilly getting hit particularly hard here, actually blowing through previous support. So not a great look there. Retail trade weak as well with Amazon, producer manufacturing pretty weak here. Consumer services a bit mixed. Disney day 2 to the upside. And health services, another RFK Jr. related name, also to the downside, guys. Tesla, the only green Mag 7 that I can see.
Thank you, Adara.
I just can't believe how we stayed patient with this Tesla trade, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, we got Kyle Burdett with a super chat. Sean, I want the cash cow. SPY puts paying big for multiple days now. Get down. Yes. Those puts have definitely been paying. We're a bit of a backside. There's some selling coming in this week. So congrats on your puts, Kyle Burdett, for that. Yeah, he's saying Obi, let's pretend the like is the ask and smack it. Yes, for sure. Smack that like, and you are staring at he's frozen. He's frozen, guys. Half the stream is frozen. Oh boy. But that Palantir price action definitely not frozen.
8%?
Nice. All right.
Is it Friday yet?
Is it Friday yet? I don't know.
I don't. We were $6 in the money in total before when we went to that throw, right? We're $8 now. Tesla we just took a piece out at 318. I said this would be a dream if we got to 318. I mean, do not pinch me or anything like that. But right now, this goes from 312 to 318. We put $6 back in our pocket right there. Meanwhile, SMCI, I mean, yeah, you know, we like the stock. We like the stock. Short. There it goes, man. Huge move to the downside right there. Rivian. The only stock that we are going to have regrets on, and that is going to be SMR, because this is the one. Well, and I mean, we're down on SMR. We're actually down more on SMR than we are on Amazon because we're not able to get anything out of SMR. It does basically break off of that 2280 marker. But, you know, I learned my lesson with Tesla there, because Obi's like, dude, why? Like, he didn't say this, but he's like, he could have got back in on that failed top break there, right? But for me, the volume wasn't necessarily there to do that, to prove to me that was a top right there. And that's, you know, I'm always looking at these things, like definitely not just a pretty face, because that wouldn't be true. So what we're trying to do is waiting. And I was just like, I was, you know, putting on a little bit of a show, pretending like I was upset. Was not pretending, actually. And then it comes all the way back in. Oopsies. Comes all the way back in. I'm hearing somebody's mic.
Doubles.
I don't know whose it was. But comes all the way back in there into 313. And then I think it was maybe Adara walking behind us. 313 there, all the way back up into 318. So that gave us all that we needed right back up there. And we actually put on more shares there than we would have had. Well, about the same amount of shares, actually, that we would have had in both spots. So all in all, it does work out for us on that trade. So we're pretty happy. And then Amazon, I'm just happy that we kind of got out of the way there. Does it reload itself back at 206.50 at VWAP? Yes, right there at VWAP. Yes, right there at VWAP. And then again, Candy yesterday asked us about Amazon. What did I think about today? I said I thought down. So I was happy with that. Not happy that I've owned this stock, of course, but nice move to the downside right there. And again, we're just staying true to who we are. And that is today, Tesla, SMCI, Palantir, Baba, we did not look at. AMD was actually another name that we did not look at today. Let me see what that's doing. I have an offer up near 140. Was it 140 was my level? Yeah, 140. So that never even came close. The problem with AMD was, and again, we wrote down all shorts this morning. Like, we wrote down shorts this morning 1% ago, and now you're down 2%. So the idea here behind AMD was hopefully we would get that pop, but there was absolutely no pop in the market. So this reload there, that's when you use the 200 period. So we're not in it, but I just want to show everybody that if you are thinking one way about a stock and it does this, then obviously we're not going to get the targets. Like, the target was 140, so you're not going to get that. So what you have to do is look back at it and think what's the next level? Kind of like what you did on Pfizer there, where you got out, let it go back up for a reload spot. So now we're $7.
You did that on Tesla. That was perfect.
Thank you, Obi. There's Tesla right now.
Great patience.
$6 in the money. I'm going to take a piece out right now. I just tried to get one out at 19. We missed it. So we'll take 318.80s. There it is. Another piece out there on the top side. So right now we only have about 8% left. I got to do better on that. But you know what, Obi?
Yo.
After making that mistake on Tesla early, after making that mistake, it wasn't a mistake on SMR, but losing on SMR, I know you are going to, and so will I, close. And we only have 10 minutes left, so anything can happen. We'll be at the highs of the day for both of our accounts, I believe. And that to me is what it's about. No matter all the decisions that you make all day, there's always going to be other trades. Yeah. There's always going to be mistakes that you make, or the stock does not act the way you thought it would, clearly. Yep. There's always going to be opportunities where, why didn't we reload certain things? Like Palantir comes right back into our level. We talked about why we didn't, only for it to pop upside again. All you could do at the end is look down at the P&L and be like, okay, you know, and sometimes you'll look down and it'll be red and you'll understand why. And it's because of trades that, you know, went against you. When it's green, there's going to be, hopefully you've rewarded yourself with the good trades and being able to take out some profits. But at the end of the day, this is what trading is all about. And it's about taking the risk, taking the shot, and making educated guesses. Because these are all guesses at the end of the day. They're educated guesses.
It's all about probabilities.
So yes, exactly, and that's exactly
They're
right.
always
That's what an educated guess is. You base it on probability, base it on past experiences, base it on the work, the hard work that you've put in. Tom Brady on his speech there goes, he said that, you know, it sucks when you're in the gym and everybody else, he said, is eating pancakes, sleeping in, and everybody else sleeping in and you're at the gym. Everybody else is chilling out and you're watching tape. Everybody else is playing video games and you're charting. You know, there's things like that that eventually are going to pay off. If they don't, they don't. But that's hard work in anything you're doing pays off at the end of the day. So that's what I believe. And, you know, it's led me down this path. So, all right, Obi.
There's I guess there was a saying. I think again, I've heard a few people say this, and I'm the first person here on the floor that I remember saying this was Greg. Basically, P&L is a lagging indicator of process. Something along the lines of that.
You know, as a lag, yeah, process
Yeah.
it is, but it's
Yeah.
a leading indicator of your success.
Perhaps, maybe. I don't know.
Not perhaps,
but
it is.
Yeah.
How
Over time, yeah. You
What
get to
makes
the
a
point where
successful trader?
making bank and I guess making good trades. Making good trades.
Making money. Yeah, you're right. The
And
first
then
time.
the money is a byproduct of those good trades.
Right.
It's the
Exactly.
same.
But
it's-
no, it's not the same thing because at the end of the day, you could make a good trade on 5 shares.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. It's not. You don't make. You're not making any real.
You have to be sized appropriately as well.
You could be the
that's
greatest
definite.
quarterback in NCAA history,
Yeah.
but you're never going to get credit until you make it in this in the NFL, like in the big times, right?
That's fair.
You could be the best whatever Call of Duty player amongst your
Yeah.
group. That's really nice. You get a lot of cred for that, but
Yeah.
but once
what's your KD?
right.
You know what I mean?
No. All right, over there, was that a call for a dare or not? Yeah, we actually have Money Talks coming up at 10:50. We can wait for that throw. It's only 10 seconds away. So look, guys, if you like what we're talking about, man, you know, hit the like, hit everything right now. I mean, this is why we've got Obi on here. It's a completely great perspective. We love having Obi on. And there it is, 1.5K. I want to thank everybody for doing that. When we showed this up here, we were at 830 something. So thank you so much right there, adding about 900 likes to that stream. We want to thank everybody and just keep on going, guys. Keep on going with the like button. We want to thank everybody for that one. All right, we're now ready for a dare. Let's go.
We're going to take a look here at the U.S. dollar, which has been on quite the tear recently. We initially had that bottom, of course, starting at the end of September here, bouncing off 100. Then the Donald Trump election helping the DXY as well. We got as high as 107 yesterday. Now today pulling back a little bit, but look at this bottoming tail candle, getting a wick as low as that 106.40 here. So it's going to be previous resistance going back to April and May. Then we push even higher. As of right now, we're trading around 106.70. So potential bottoming tail candle here for the DXY to be aware of. Lots of economic data this morning, but definitely not as big as what we got earlier this week with regards to PPI and CPI. There's going to be, I guess, the more closely watched numbers, but still a lot of data to go through. Export and import prices higher than expected and higher than the previous month, where we actually saw a drop month over month. Now actually seeing an 8% increase in export price index and 0.3% increase in import price index. We also had an increase here for retail sales month over month, below the prior month's print of 0.8% to the upside, but we get 0.4% to the upside, which was above estimates of 0.3. We had comments from Fed Chair Powell yesterday, of course, speaking at an event held by the Dallas Economic Chamber there, basically saying that he's not in a hurry to lower rates, but it was kind of, I guess, some mixed remarks, nothing super crazy or earth-shattering coming out of that. But we did have Fed's call in this morning as well, speaking, saying that there's no new evidence of inflationary pressures. And apparently the job market looks like full-time or full labor and employment conditions. But this is important. Fed's call in saying there's no urgency to lower rates, but there is that interest, of course, in preserving a healthy economy. So we're going to have to see what the Fed does from here. But interesting comments coming from Fed's call in. And later today, we'll get even more Fed's comment. We're going to get Fed's Williams at 1:15, then at 2:05, Fed's Goolsbee, and at 3 p.m. we'll get Fed's Barking, guys.
All right, so some Fed speakers coming in. So it should be interesting to see what kind of action the market does. We've only been
saw that
selling
dip
off
yesterday.
John.
I was gonna say, wasn't
Only
that
been selling off.
we sold off on Powell yesterday? So.
Kyle Burdett is printing on his puts.
Oh yeah, that's right. We already hit the cow for that guy. We're not gonna hit it again. But yeah, shout out to Kyle there, and shout out to anybody that had a putty feel to this market because you are right about that, and it's been a great one. It's been a great trade to the short side. It's been a great trade for the long side too. I mean, it's a matter of Kyle's talking about the broader market, of course, that has given up a lot recently. So yeah, it's been back in. It's a nice 2% down day. I mean, look, the bulls can still have a lot to cheer about. We're only back to where we were on the 6th. So we're back about a week and a half, now breaking a little bit lower. It was a great opportunity there for the bulls, and then the bears had these tops that we've seen before. So yeah, S&P 6,000, that was a good short. You've seen what the S&P's done since that level as well, and now the NASDAQ continues to push down a little bit more. So yeah, man, I mean, take your opportunity. I would say, Big Kyle, great trading. Keep up the good work, and yeah. Just keep watching the show, and I just want. There's a lot of people that are net long as well, so you know it's been a little bit of a tough run, and you could think about averaging in at certain levels here as well. For me, I thought about the Nasdaq, and when I was looking at the triple Qs here, I always think that the 50-period moving average, if you're dip buying things, is good area to like start to maybe. You know, I'm dollar cost averaging. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's like something that you know you're part of your strategy. This would be a good opportunity to do that down there at maybe at 490. And then always the 200 period. I mean, it looks obvious when you're looking at it like this, but always the 200 period seems like good dip buy opportunities. So you got it back in August 5th, and then we got it basically again there September 9th. So those were some good dip opportunities. If that happens again, I think it's time to take some more shares there because, you know, the world hopefully is going to get a little bit better. We've talked about trying to end some of that controversy and you know, decade long and century long there in the Middle East. Well, hopefully that can feel better about that. And then we have Russia, Ukraine coming through. And then again, the big worry, in my opinion, of course, and in many people's opinion, is going to be eventually what the China story is. So we've seen Alibaba today absolutely crap off open. And I don't try to use that term too lightly there because at the end of the day, Alibaba did not perform, man. They were up huge in the pre-market. We were up to $95, $96 off of $5 up, and it just came $5 straight down and then kept on going, breaking that 90 level that we had written down on the sticky note as an area to look at. And then as we looked at it in the pre-market, we're like hard pass on that one. Good outs there. I mean, we got some more outs on Tesla. We said that it would be a dream if it got to 18s. Well, it got to 19s, so we took a piece out up there as well. So far, so good there on that Tesla trade. Rivian downside, everything's working out for us. Palantir is like non-stop right now. So unabated to the quarterback right here is Palantir. And I don't know if it's going to get a 15-yard roughing penalty or something, but it is treating those shorts with no respect at all. So, like, if you are short Palantir, it is disrespecting you pretty good right now, straight to the upside. It gave you an opportunity there to fade off a 63. That was a great trade, but now just straight fire upside right now, PLTR. Wow. I'm here to tell you, I sold some off the open. Huge mistake. Huge mistake as it just continues to get going here, Obi. So, Great look there on PLTR. I didn't think it was going to do this, but it is. So up 9 now. Good job, Jay Lee. Took some money there on Yang. There's that yin and yang ETF there for China. You can also trade FXI. We can have a quick look at FXI here as Obi's. I guess you're still in that one trade. So
yeah, I'm still
FXI
here,
just to see what it is. Okay, so
crazy.
FXI is actually up today.
Yeah.
There you go. So maybe it's not the end of the world here for China, but definitely a bad report there for Alibaba.
This market continues to sell off. So what is the next trade? I don't know. I'm looking for this selling in the market to kind of lift.
Yep.
And then maybe look for bounces across the board there. Again, it's just an idea. Where are we going to find it? I have no idea, but things that are selling off aggressively, let's take a look at those before we kind of send you guys off to the midday show. How to trade with Sharif and Joe. So Softy right here, look at that. Would you just take a look at it? VWAP selling all the way down.
Looking at
420s right there, breaking down 416 halves, right? So, but something that's clean, that's selling even more cleanly, again, shout out to Kyle, is the spider. Look at this. Consolidation at that VWAP shows you it doesn't necessarily want that VWAP. Pre-market low rejections as well. and then a flush to the downside with that opening range low breakdown as well. So some solid moves there. Google as well. Look at this selling on Google. We saw that weakness kind of come in yesterday on Google. Aggressive selling.
Oh boy.
Try to take that reversion. The reversion doesn't really kind of happen right away. It takes all day for it to get just back to VWAP. That's showing a little bit of struggle there. And look at that consolidation. I was like, yo, that, you know what? Oh my God. I even messaged. Okay. I was like 174.40s, 174.30s was a held bid yesterday.
Yep.
On Google. You remember that? I pointed that out.
Yep.
Coming in today, Sean, look at this.
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? Opening range highs right there at that 174.30s, 174.40. So that bid is gone. And then we tanked to the downside all the way from 174s trading at 171.5 as of right now. Oh boy, definitely a mistrade on my part.
Look at
Apple as well.
Look at Rivian. I just want to hit that alert there.
How's your Rivian doing?
Yeah, Rivian is absolutely cranking to the downside. There's a little bit of a size here at 975. Look, this is for everybody either at Real Trading or any prop floor. Like, this is only a $10 name. Okay, so we are now in the money 25 cents on a $10 name, 2.5%. I mean, that's a great return right there. So, of course, I'm going to be trading Tesla, which were $4 in the money. And this is going to be my P&L. Actually, Palantir will be my P&L. Actually, Palantir, Rivian, they're all there. They're all roughly the same. But this is going to be a completely different style to trade a Tesla, which we've done today. And again, congratulations to anybody that's been on that. Then a Rivian. Like Rivian today, monster move. We shorted that right off the open. We believed in it. You got to be strong. You got to have that sort of strong will about your trades. And then there it goes right down there to the downside. So we'll take the L on Amazon early, but look at this. This is how you play conservatively. We take the long. It hits early. We get out. Once it breaks, we're gonzos. Now we can not worry about that. That's a good trade. Palantir is now, everybody, $1, $2 in the money at all-time highs, up another 10% on announcement that they're moving from the NYSE over to the NASDAQ right there. So boy, oh boy, do we like Palantir. You guys know. Hey man, look. This hat was bought at $10 when the stock was there, if not lower than that. Okay, there's Palantir, huge move to the upside. That's a good trade. Rivian is right here on the sticky note. What does Rivian say? Let's get short, baby. So that, actually, no, we retreated Rivian. Rivian's not on here. This was a play on those tax subsidies potentially leaving. And then Sharif was like, guys, that's pretty bad for everybody else. Might be good for Tesla. So we talked about that. SMCI, this is the big one for us. This is $1 in the money. And this one we had written down on the sticky note as well. This was this one for sure. Whoopsies, I just closed it. 1850 right there on the note from today. Here it is. We've just been tweeting out a lot of our trades today because I want people to be able to watch and see what we're doing. There's 1850 right there, the number one idea on SMCI, playing the trend until something changes. Well, guess what? Nothing changed. That's SMCI. SMR. Fail, flush down the toilet. Although it's up right now of where we had bought it, it did break 23 and we got out. You cannot call yourself a legitimate trader if you're not going to review and look at both your wins and your losses. Yep. We have to do this, man. That's the most important. And then Tesla. Oh boy. This is for all you guys out there. We'll blow that cow up on the screen. And have a great, great midday show. Obi. Yo. It's been a pleasure with you all week. Likewise. But the good part about it is,
it ain't over.
It ain't over. You're back at 2 o'clock, and this man is back in this desk Monday morning with me as well. We'll return Neil on Tuesday. So thank you, Obi. Thank you to everybody, for everybody watching. Thank you to Fabian. Thank you to Ramin. Everybody that's one from our day ones, thank you so much for being here from then. And to everybody that's new, thank you so much for hitting the likes, for hitting the subscribes today. I'm just going to refresh before we go over. When we asked everybody, we were at 850 or so likes. 1.6K right now on the stream. Thank you to everybody. Over 6,000 of you are watching, and it's a good thing you are because you're about to go over to the midday. All right, Obi, say bye to everybody.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Ciao.
Yes. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to